Right. It got cut out off because the internet went out for a second. Um, it's so bad. I was just talking about like how originally it was stalking on cell phone, but he was definitely on the internet account also because I would watch I'd be watching YouTube videos and you could hear him on like a video game walkthrough. Seemed like where he's got the little window in the bottom and he's watching the video game walkthrough, but you could hear men talking on my headphones, inaudible noise, and then he would enable the microphone on my cell phone. This is all throughout, and then just stalking everywhere. The man will not stop basically entering the premises and following me around 24/7 via cell phone, via technology. Like he stalks me 24/7 via technology. Like they had the ability, and this man had the ability to just leech and piggyback off of your internet account and your cell phone account. And you used to be able to hear the guy when he would enable the microphone and heavy breathe in an audible noise, which he says he's put a masking device over. And because this man has access to police technology, he's extremely dangerous. Even though this guy sounds like the lowest janitor and criminal that could possibly happen, which he's open about being on these men too. So it's really strange. They said they've stolen some of the access to passwords that enable them to get on police sites, but that once you have the passwords, the technology they're on might be in widespread use for in progress arrests. And it's supposed to follow have a warrant out and or a brief wire. The wire should be over in relation to, finding the heroin with probable cause to get a warrant to continue to, as opposed to, to check out the house they've got multiple calls about for serious drug dealing, and then where they're buying drugs and distributing that kind of stuff. So to stalk, but you would have a warrant from everything anybody knows about law school, or a mugger in progress, or that kind of thing. These guys just latch on and leech totally criminally. I mean, these guys have no morals whatsoever. And these groups of men that do actually do this stuff never have. It's a very, very nasty criminal and disease infected groups. The higher functioning ones that when your morality is so poor that you would never, I have no interest in, and I'm not allowed to have any interactions with the people going by, other than that of a specific and only, and they haven't hired the kind of guy that really there's no such thing as the fence or lines and whatsoever. It's a stranger. You don't have any current interest. Of course, yeah. The world's most Barbie's pretty explicit naked. Yeah, but Ken definitely doesn't have a wiener. Yeah, all the little wiener in Barbie movie. She does have like a very, very nice figure. Being heavy breathed out of my. Was it actually Barbie? I think just body types. Haynes, really, yeah. This is probably that's a pornographic name, really, yeah. Because the person, really, yeah, it's probably like really, yeah. I which I said, but I mean, it's a little. The guy sounds like, really, yeah. I mean, it sounds like that is tool talking to himself. It's just absolutely so evil because all of a sudden the thing is like touching you, really, yeah. And then I mean, it's. What can you do? And then I don't know at what point it cut off, but the electrocution is to get enough to get enough. So before this, it was just sort of it could attach to the person near the cell phone, so you could get away from it, and it would be on your body if you were sleeping next to your cell phone or something. Which used to, and then they would say something about it. There was something about that, or you could hear worse somehow. Like, I'm really not sure, but it just seemed, it wasn't, I mean, I took completely ordinary showers. I actually took a bath and things like that. I turned my cell phone off. They definitely break in and put their own, tile in your house or their own cell phone device in the wall in your house. because so you can unplug your internet and your cell phone. The whatever's coming through the heavy breathing is just so absolutely ridiculous, but it's so schizophrenic, it's so criminal, and has been all throughout. Yes, that's nice, but yes, it was SEO epi, upside down and backwards with all the body parts and all the everything else, more or less on Ken and Barbie, who were apparently running and back from tour or something. Very lonely. Then there was some kind of conflict between like Asian Barbie. I mean, it was male Ken. I mean, I don't know what was going on there, but it kept like it's an incredibly whatever this Ghostwrite app is. The satellite image body scanning or something with the ability to generate physical touching like a physical scan of the body is extremely evil. It's very technologically advanced these days. And I mean, it's just absolutely awful. Like, because I'm tidying up the house, and like, you're doing, like, you can't escape from it. It's a rape device, really. Yeah. I mean, I'm just constantly moving away from the, they must have like the new development where there's now I think I don't know when somebody developed inaudible noise. Low frequency noise is not that hard to create. That is what these men are doing. They said they put a masking device over it and that they stumbled upon this stuff, and that's how they got into this, because they actually have this and somebody's been doing it for years, which is actually correct. That checks out. There are really bad stalkers and stalking things on the airwaves. I've never encountered or noticed. Maybe it's people, it's like the security cameras at work or something. Really, yeah. Like I barely notice the security. I mean, I know they're there, but people, I don't know if somebody was thinking slightly impure thoughts on them. Really, I'm just, it's a security camera at work. It's not a security camera in the bathroom. He's not allowed to be the boss there, Jack. Well, he is the boss because I spoke to a sheriff's department member. He said jurisdiction. You need to stop neighborhood pornography on the thing and aiming right for the crotch area. Um, that's correct. Ken doesn't have a wiener. No, he has underwear on. Ruby's right. Barbie's right been controversial for years. She's like a mudflap girl. Was there also. But I mean, that was definitely a narration of pornography. Oh, I'll say, I don't think anybody's ever done anything more explicit than they're doing dishes or something, and or going putting the laundry down and something's goosing you, and then you lay down and something gooses you really badly and starts trying to vibrate your pants. And then you're being electrocuted at the same time, which is extremely unpleasant. And it is kind of, I said that it's almost like it's like being punched or something. Really, yeah. I mean, and you can't get away from it in the house. It's absolutely hideous. I just want to go back. You realize I think it got recorded that much. I went into Hobby Lobby and Starbucks without my cell phone, and it was still trying on the car, but I was able to get away from it. Really, yeah, because it's got a read on my car. Because he just won't stop stalking because he has all this stuff like, oh, I can stalk here and stalk everywhere, and I won't stop stalking. You need to take the technology access away from these men because they are breaking the law with it, and these men need to stop violating, like, interacting with myself via technology. They're entering the premises and words I won via technology. So you could hear this guy heavy breathing sometimes. Yeah, which I report over and over again. And like here, you can, like, it's been recorded. You can hear the guy. He's an audible noise frequency, and he put masking over top of it. Someone did, and then they have some kind of absolutely hideous, like a body scanner that generates actual touching. But I mean, it's hideous, really. Yeah, and then he narrates pornography on the inaudible noise, heavy breathing, all the time. Oh. Who is naked? Ken and Barbie pornography? Yep. Well, he says that you don't have a, you're so lame, you don't have a love life or something. Apparently, to have a love life, I would have to like, people would have to be buried alive in a sewer, and that's where you rescue Ken from there. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's another person on the cell phone. It's going to be Glenda the troll. It's him standing there or something. I mean, and then it's a whatever's going on with like this like full body electrocution scanning. It's a sexual assault device. He's got some kind of gynecological app hooked up to it too, which is incredibly intrusive. Yeah, like I mean, I just wonder, and if you like, he will not untrain it from your body in Google Map. Yellow person, really, but and I mean, it's just absolutely hideous. You're like, yeah, it's like that. Like it's a grab you chair, really. You're like, what the hell? That one says I'm awesome, and then something tries to goose you and stuff. Really, right? But they could have cozy Jesus. Jesus, it grabbed me. You need to get these men. Okay, so they have a sexual assault device they've developed. Yeah. The problem is it's really a rape device. Oh, it's very much the case. It's as described. It's been around for years. Oh, there is a sexual assault device. No, for sure. Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, I'm not hallucinating anything. It's a nasty disease. It's a rare disease. Really? Yeah. I mean, I'm so happy. I'm like, oh, good. What can I do today? Really? Yeah. Uh, and because I'm walking around Hobby Lobby and it's like this weights lifted, so you're oh good. Now I'm gonna go and um do things my own things and peacefully happily go about my business. It got right on my one at my parents. Somebody's at my parents' house. Apparently, somebody's given these guys like there's something with law enforcement tech where they have absolute access to cell phones because they might need them for in progress things. And because of that, it used to be cable and satellite. Oh, I'm absolutely positive there were rape devices that could be hooked up to cable and satellite that were not dissimilar to these. That were very scary and insidious, and whoever was on the other side of cable satellite, like beach chip stalking in houses, was an evil thing. And they had a biometric scanner, body scanner. I'm absolutely positive being, and I'm trying to have one of them and find my bathing suit or bikini or something. Really, yeah, like no, it's a very unique thing, and the technology is very much the case. And the one that what's going on, what they have now, it was evil back in the day. People were very much alive, and apparently tech was very what it is. But it's just the facts, and actually as described, and I swear under oath, really, yeah, no, like you would have thought there had been like a lightning strike, really. I'm very concerned about this not as far as something breaking. I'm concerned about just something breaking very much so. I don't think whatever they're generating electrical current with in the body is a Food and Drug Administration approved whatsoever. And I think it's the man in the creepy truck and van going by over there, the dirty orchid man. No, you need to get. I think that was who I talked to on the phone from the sheriff's department. Really, yeah, like they make fun of my accent. Oh my god, that was like the rudest rude accent I've ever heard. I mean, I've never heard anybody with that accent. Really, yeah. And I mean, a little harsh, but it's just if you're an absolute outlier, um, it seems like it's extremely criminal and corrupt. No, it's polite enough. It's just, I'm absolutely positive there's a sexual assailant via technology, and there was a stalker via technology. The guy will not stop making contact with the person that is legitimately reporting him for something all throughout, which he used to just do by finding your cell phone. I've changed my cell phone number. I've changed my cell phone accounts. My family's changed the cell phone account. Yeah, I jumped on the cell phone of mom and dad's house, and then just the fondling is hideous. Really, yeah. I mean, I mean, it almost feels like fingers. It's the nastiest thing in the world. Somebody obviously likes it's very obviously like a rape app too, really. Yeah, like I don't know. They said they've had something like it in the other office. You just have to have like some kind of truck rounding device that Raleigh didn't have because there was no reason to, almost. But he was like cruising around the neighborhoods looking for, and then it was such a public case actually out of or something. I mean, I'm not sure, but he didn't, whatever it is, the sexual assault of us app, which actually, I think everybody's going to recognize, because there is a sexual assault of us that criminals use, um, that people can get on your television and cell phone. I think you have to be a professional, but the professionals using this stuff, there does appear to be a lot of corruption in in actually men who might have access to this stuff. It's interesting that you and anybody, apparently the neighborhood children's crotch. Okay. Well, I mean, it's unbelievable. So, I mean, this poor woman is there doing her laundry in her house, and all of a sudden it's like, um, really, yeah, the aims that at your cell phone and then your body because yeah, no. Even if Ken and Barbie are naked, she has really big boobs and upside down, and Ken has a wiener. Oh no. No. How about if they are, and then more? I can hear it's Otis Toole for heaven's sakes. I know that's definitely a very dirty blend of the troll. But there's, and then also the butt. Oh, also butt. Okay. I'm calling. Okay, was that my butt tensing? I think so. Really. Also, I'm being electrocuted. It's incredibly offensive that you're all sitting around saying that these men have a right to do all this. Well, we won't arrest these people. They're apparently out of the Carroll County, Arkansas jurisdiction. And that's why I don't want kids to have cell phones. I don't know what's wrong with them. That could be correct. But I mean, like the internet, comparably, there's not that much on the internet. I mean, we've all done that. Like as much as your children could get into, we probably Googled it at some point, or would get into as normal children. As adults, we probably Googled it, and there's just not that much. There's not that many. Um, Probably the band has been too drunk. Like, was it like Alice in Chain or something? Like, well, like if you were a construction worker or something, like you really wouldn't want your child to do whatever like Stewie's doing, and it might actually be there. A bad influence. That goes for everybody. Really, yeah. Might be slightly more access there. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's just Jim Morrison. Anybody, but actually it's slightly ruder or even or something. Really, not ruder, but like there's just more there. Really, I think you're working construction in your child or contracting or something. Really. This stupid band needs to not be doing that because it's a bad influence on. Yeah, I don't want my construction worker son, contractor son, that's blonde and cute. Doing heroin and dying. Trying to be more access. Even more than it being a bad influence on upper middle class, like suburban white collar kids. So, but I mean, that's been there forever. Been there since the '60s. Yeah. But I mean, these incredibly filthy men cannot be in your house on the ability these men have. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really bad. And the modern technology of it is absolutely evil. People who encountered the way that back in the day said it was evil. It was like a body scanner that would aim intense therapy and it electrocutes you, like, so that you're almost a little like incapacitated by it. And then it's just the fact that every time you stand up or sit down, if it's got the body scanner on your body, I'm not sure. I haven't seen, but the thing grounds on the human body somehow. Really, yeah, I do actually like from common knowledge and interact having experienced it. But yeah, it's very very evil, and it has been throughout. It very much would start like, but really, yeah, there's something going on with image scanning of houses with people in them. Where then like whatever, like I said, I had briefly encountered this thing. Somebody might have had a motels down by the beach. Because if you live in, just because the beach is a little bit far away from Milan and stuff, and like Greensboro and whatnot. But yeah, the motels are beautiful. Like it's like Myrtle Beach and Wilmington motels or Atlantic Beach motels, and they look clean, they're fun, they're ordinary and cheerful. But somebody really probably that is actually a thing. The cable maintenance security guy is actually did do that in places and things like that. Really, yeah. That's awful, but that is actually a real experience I had. Really, yeah. It's up your business. Apparently, there's some kind of like, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't. I'm pretty non-dirty minded, and I don't really think about how all that things work. Really, but like, maybe because it's male. I'm not sure why somebody is saying that word. I think because they have those. Is it nuts? Like I don't even know. Or something awful. Really, I mean, I'm not sure really, but it's like the stories of your business. Really, it has like an up your business setting. Uh, which as far as AX goes, there is some up your business in that process. Really, yeah. Which I mean, that process has absolutely nothing to do with the Penske truck going by and the woman jogging going by. Right? In actual application, it's very much against the law. It's like being electrocuted with the car battery in buckets. You need to get these men into custody. Yeah, it was all this child stuff. Yesterday it was like Otis Toole is narrating all this, correct? Yeah, for the whole thing, it really hyper animated. Really, yeah, like nobody. And I could, hear the guy talking to himself about hallucinating on drugs. I mean, that is a total drug hallucination. You could, in schizophrenic person. I mean, it is so bad. It's not even funny. But I mean, I can't imagine. He apparently is just determined to not let you get away from ghost rape at your house, which is very real, and you really need to know. There's no doubt whatsoever. Uh, Weird men get on your internet and cable and cell phone accounts is very much it's like who even the I mean other people apparently law enforcement is allowed to use this technology to do these things if they feel that there's a reason to. For example, them doing what you're describing, which yes they are doing, and yes they're aiming at your crotch with Otis Toole. But the mental health issues you're experiencing, which I'm just moving away from it. Really, yeah. So there's a guy on a Walgreens pulse therapy device that is, and then a gynecological outfit. I'm pretty sure that was actually an ovary. I mean, there's no other way one could find one of those, which apparently are inside of you. What? Just sort of touching it, vibrating it, pulsing it, that hurts. Really? Yeah. Or something. And that's incredibly offensive that these criminal men would dare to defend. I think you also do need to be aware that the current time and place, as opposed to individuals, as opposed to anything anybody is saying as far as other than going and checking as far as if there's actual any sort of law being broken. And that, of course, is not the case, and then once you've learned it, you have to get a warrant, and then you have to sign out law enforcement technology. Your real offense that multiple times that you've stolen passwords, and that you also said you went through, you sit around and you go through bank accounts, with, you go through, because you can mirror accounts, so you do identity theft for stalking also, which is like go through bank account, you need to alert the public in like Cary, because apparently it was fun to go through my neighbors' bank accounts and stalk the neighbors also, the same way they were stalking me, which law enforcement in the area was alerted. This jurisdiction shit has to go by the wayside. It's nothing but crime. There's no such thing legally as jurisdiction. If somebody calls about a crime, that is the professionals department to figure out the right department that is going to stop the crime if it's simply anything that's against the law. You can get a warrant to, there's been multiple reports in here of drug dealing in there, so you can get a warrant to scan the house. The drug dealers are in, the public needs to know this is out there. It's not just you call on the phone and they say, oh, no, my department jurisdiction and stuff, and then you're stuck in like ghost rape app, stalker house, horror movie house with this thing, and you're calling, which apparently multiple families in Arkansas, I believe, area are calling the police, and they're having the same problem I'm having.
Check out this video of a foldable steamer. It fans out and can be adjusted to fit a pot of any size. Toss your veggies in boiling water.
So it's incredibly important to get this corruption cleaned up.
This is a foldable weighing scale that you can fit in the tiniest of the spaces. When you open it up, it fans out and rests on 3 legs. Now you can place the items you need.
It's just that can make you really hot and horny for a disgusting guy like me, as opposed to Barbie.
Make food prep
Or a
easier
male
and more
Barbie.
efficient with this handy food scraper. Its unique design allows you to scoop, funnel, and even cut directly on the scraper. It's perfect for transferring chopped ingredients, filling spice mills, and cleaning up spills. The compact size makes it easy to store between cutting boards. Want to preserve the freshness and flavor of your food for longer? This electric vacuum sealer for mason jars is a game changer for preserving food. It features
This has to be removed from my house. I just wake up in the morning and I wouldn't have to be fighting this off. Like, I'm sitting there, I mean, this is actually horrible, but I'm sitting there, I had to sleep leaning over in a chair. Like I said, I'm getting a floor mattress and a rug, and then I'm gonna get like a microphone that records the whole room, probably the bird call microphone, really. It's like sound activated. We can get we can watch the car stalling. It's unbelievable. It was incredibly criminal and hideous stalking that I reported over and over. And get off my crotch with that thing as you defend this in the legal system of the United States of America and the courts, that your men do not have to be taken into custody and out of the community with this. And you need to get these men into custody. That doesn't apply there. You don't like adamantly defend the situation. Could I rethink, I guess, if there was actually any legitimate real, but there's not, so that's a problem, of course. But I mean, I can't even get, like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go get a part-time job and because I got away from peacefully wandering around Hobby Lobby looking at all the things they have to buy, and I didn't have my phone with me, and they're not in my house where they broke in and put a device so I can't turn them off, which, I think the two-way heavy breather rape app in the ghost rape it is too much. You're doing too much heavy breathing to be defending your kidnapping, car theft, conspiracy to kidnap, rape, home invade, and murder. Um, that's correct. I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, you got to be kidding me. We have to fight me with your mind. Really, yeah, that's what it's going to say. Would you please get the schizophrenic freaks? He's a fool. He's going to make like his Joker mouth. He holds his hand up because he's a fool. Okay. Would you please get this freak show? What did you bring into the modern one? Is extremely dangerous. I mean, just where we are in time and space and technology, it is like a full blown like ghost rape house app. Really, yeah. I mean, your heavy breathing microphone is where. Oh, I just moved in. Somebody just needs to scan the house. You actually need to have in the crime labs and stuff for what happens if somebody just buys a little camera on Amazon and puts it somewhere in their ex-girlfriend's house or something. Okay, that's actually quite hidden. It's in a clock radio or something like that. Or can you put a camera in the microwave? Microwave by the clock or something, and why? Because nobody's going to think of that and know what to do about it. Well, you don't have any money. These people are better off than you because you brought them into communities and pay them to commit crime. The fact that you brought men that committed this much crime in a neighborhood, like get off the crotch fondler. Apparently, it's an absolute hideous rape tool in the hands of men so criminally low compared to anyone you've ever met or you could ever possibly interact with. Because you brought, Tony Edo is apparently in this story obstructing justice. Not start fondling the woman's genital area as explicitly as possible. It is what he's. So I'm very sorry, this dirt, trash, low, wife beater, sex offender, criminal, gangbanger, absolute lowest class white trash male who says it's a hood environment into jail because he created a hood environment in our court with his schizoid affective monstrosity of a criminal behavior and disorder. Like the lowest, the world is pretty much dead if these animals are, and we are in the current time and space, and we have been for a very long time. The fact that these men preyed upon neighborhoods for as long as these men have, and that the criminals that you bring into communities, it's a very long time since Westworld, really, or since it is a very, very long time. You brought men so incredibly low and rough. It was something to do with your men. You allowed them to go on. Law enforcement does have to address crime, no matter what. And there's no such thing as jurisdiction in relation to crime. Well, I'm showing off that when a Todietto is allowed in a community like McGregor, which is a suburban family community with like almost nothing in it except businesses that are affluent, businesses that provide goods or services to people in the community that are affluent, and suburban housing. That's the country club neighborhood, suburban housing. I cannot have you bringing Otis Toole and Smead and the construction workers in Tony Edo into and Detective Pate into communities if they're going to say they get to sexually abuse the suburban family communities where these people can all pass background checks, and you're running around doing this and saying you can. Well, just no, that goes for you. I pass the background check. Really, yeah. At this point, you don't, okay? Because you have the fact that your men can get into a house to commit a crime. You're not allowed to make contact with the other person's body in any way, shape, or form on that thing. It's inappropriate. Like if
Instead, you are using it as a sexual assault device, which you've hooked up other stuff you've collected in your many years of absolutely bizarre crime. Because you've been reported over and over again, and the police did not arrest you when they had to arrest you for, committing for felony crime. Like if you created this evidence, you committed a felony crime. There's no such thing as creating evidence ever. I don't care if you're the divine right of the Tornado, the truck driver, brought into communities. You preyed upon communities out of your group in law enforcement, which is a very different group than anything you've ever seen, except where you've seen crime and corruption. You're extremely dangerous, lower income males and criminal males with very poor job skills training, except out of very working class things. I mean, I cannot, do you do anything in the community, or do we just have like a low crime rate wherever you are? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty to do. Where are the police in relation to your incredible amounts of stalking and crime against myself? I can't get anything done. Well, he said he didn't want this on the internet, so you're sexually assaulting me 24/7. Well, dude, no one's knows, but so you're in low frequency noise. Like a 5-year-old could figure this out. You broke in now and you have a speakerphone on in my house all the time and a sexual assault device. So you have a microphone with two-way on it. Okay. Well, you could incriminate yourself down there in the toilet. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you could do incriminate. I could flush drugs down it. Really? Yeah. Or not. There's no. What else could you do in the toilet that's incriminating? Otherwise, probably just go to the bathroom. Well, I need to know where everything is. Like, here's where I know when they're out during the day. You have locksmith tools to break into houses, is correct, which you've been bragging about to everybody that you can get into people's houses with. No.
Thermostat offers efficient energy management, saving up to 23% annually.
So these men in creepy white fans, yeah, believe it or not, you need to get the technology they're on. Apparently perverts were motivated back in the day. I meant to say positive. Oh, there was a window, so I thought I'd been struck by lightning as a kid, and then something touched me, so I thought it was, your fear ghost. But I'm actually positive, and that the fact that somebody had this installed, and maybe they installed it in spring break, that this could be other people. That could definitely be like a roadie named Bart or something, or a guy that owns a security company and lives in, new condos in Boca Raton or something. Really, yeah, that knows how to enable cable a ex-person of anywhere, and it could be an ex-person from any country. Also in places like White Plains, New York, and that is now, it could definitely be organized crime. Really, yeah, I've heard multiple times that V-chip stalking, burglars from any sort of gang, and perverts definitely might want to, might really, and do and would. That it's just to just sit there and scan neighborhoods. You need to, you do also need to check for moles, because there is, this is, no, but every true crime book I've read, maybe for like criminal justice classes or anything, because I have a poli-sci degree, is that you always put a mole in. I mean, there's just nothing. So I don't know what a detective page or a detective tornado is. Googly and extremely strange, and could be absolutely anybody as soon as it starts acting weird. I mean, it could be a man that is not allowed to act outside of the jurisdiction thing. Oh, because that's, and then it's just an ordinary police officer. They can't, because superior officers told them to otherwise. And I mean, I don't know who that person is. And then the person who, there was actually a court, he just didn't know, told them it was the search he did from the house after the taking it all, which apparently was very strange and too much. And they just told him there was drugs in there.
Oh yeah, they hang you for that in Singapore, especially if you're trying to move it around in shipping containers and stuff, because they're in the Golden Triangle area. And then, but so the Singapore police were just searching for heroin because this license SOP told them that's why you were on probation. Okay. Yeah, the fact that like Otis Toole is just shouting random stuff, right? Apparently everybody saw the Glenda the Troll episode. And people are shouting, no, that's just Glenda the Troll when he had that. Barbie again. Pornography. Okay. She said yes around the shower. That's her girlfriend. And then sexual acts narrated very explicitly, which they were extremely, as always, explicitly narrated. There's a microphone in the hallway or something. Really, yeah, of my house upstairs. There could be a camera device. You need to. So somebody broke in and wired your house with like their own cell phone, so you can't turn them off. Yeah, and there's a two-way microphone at this point, and well, you can probably find it then. Okay. The problem is too, like like you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh yay, oh good, it's gone. Now I can just, I'm alone in my house and I can go about peaceful business. Oh no, there it is again. What did I just say? Would you play with yourself? That's nice. Would you have sex with yourself if you were alone in your house? No, I'd be alone in my house. We're like, yeah. Well, he has to monitor that because it said you could be a sex criminal. I need these animals in custody already, is correct. I figured out the Faraday curtain should be quite easy to make. And so I'm just gonna block that big window. And then but instead, I come in and so you're having trouble going about your business because you're still being stalked via sex app and body scanning. And sexual assault device by John Casey's down here. Thanks to the incredible filth and evil of the North Carolina, Arkansas, and federal legal system, really. You need to get these men into custody, and when it comes up that employees are criminal out of public sector and things are corrupt and you're bringing very rough elements that are in fact perps of things because public sector has poor quality, very issues in these departments because they don't have the checks and balances necessary to make them of decent quality. Or non-offending criminal quality. It sounded like Gomer Pyle from Corrections, said jurisdiction. As long as you were polite and respectful to that white trash man. Like I was. See, you can pin it very easily, and I'm just gonna put this up. And I can sew it, put a couple layers, so maybe even put some aluminum underneath. And maybe I can figure out, but it's just, I guess it's supposed to be boggling. It's just anybody can land in your house with body scanning imaging these days, like right now in the modern world. Unfortunately, the backstory is necessary because actually what will turn out to be very real technology will have reached probably the world, actually, really, yeah. When there is a technology for something and the public should have been alerted enough. No offense, the public overall, there might be a specific group, whatever this is and whatever groups have access to it, it's going to break the world enough. You need to, obviously it's a sneaky peek as far as, so that law enforcement does not
I mean, if there's international use of it, as far as Las Vegas is a pretty, just whatever the technology is, I'm not sure, maybe it's not allowed, just however it works, it's definitely gonna have RIP to America, because I'm gonna say there's gonna be widespread use of the incredible criminal things and people. Now, unfortunately, the individual corruption, you need to get the individual corruption out of everything. Apparently, the problem is taking Tony Edo, who appears to be a dumb truck driver, into custody. I don't care if he's a doctor or he's a child molester. He's committed incredible acts of crime. They don't want to take him into custody because they don't feel that the time limit was correct on this. America has been dead since the infrastructure here landed, like completely. If you really, the incredible evil and crime of the Arkansas, and that's with the states' rights and jurisdiction. So Otis Toole gets to sexually assault Elizabeth Smart in this story. Really, and just Antonio has a right to his stuff into it. Is this his side hustle of deciding which person that lives alone and doesn't really know that many people with $500,000 in the bank? You could murder for money, and then nobody would know because of jurisdiction. But I mean, it just really actually seems like that. Yeah.
With built-in GPS, it provides accurate distance measurements and connects with other fitness devices to give you a complete picture of your running stats.
There can't possibly be. I said that there's no. I mean, not, and of course not. But the story is way too. It's supposed to be Jacob and it got gang raped again. So Fred was gonna be gang raped by Hawaiian Barbie and Asian Barbie and Marine Barbie. Awful. Of course, but well, you're just trying to slave, and the thing is really, you can hear him in the hallway. Somebody needs to figure out what it is. There's definitely a microphone upstairs in the hallway. Really, you can hear it.
Are you ever in need of something that can store your food for long periods of time? Check out these vacuum front tires, which are.
But now I can't even. I don't know if I recorded this before it kicked out because the internet went out. But I mean, I'm just being electrocuted 24/7 by some kind of truck problem. But it feels like the car battery in the bucket in Slumdog, which would actually kind of incapacitate. It kind of incapacitates you, really. Yeah. I mean, so you're I don't know what to do. So once it goes away, you're just you're back at because if you can see, I'm fighting it off. I mean, I'm not fighting it off. Well, it has trouble getting to you. It'll goose you or something as you're sweeping the floor, but it has trouble getting to and vibrate, and it fondles when you're walking around. It really makes you feel something. That's it.
If you like to keep your bathroom organized, this multifunctional toothbrush holder is perfect for you. It offers ample storage space and convenient features.
No, it's not bad. Oh, the modern one is as hideous as possible. The old one was hideous. I'm absolutely positive. I keep a record of every week of my life. The incredible lowness of your actual legal system, infrastructure, and government employee is correct also, compared to anything you're ever going to meet in private sector. No, and everyone's sure, and you don't. How badly have you just not backed down on this one? And then what the hell is it even? Oh, hey man, very much. What the heck is it? It pretty much states you down with a hockey stick. Oh, my mouth, really? Yeah. Oh.
The multifunctional digital air fryer plus offers air frying, baking, dehydrating, rotisserie, and roasting capabilities in one appliance. It uses rapid air heating elements for fats, even cooking with
You have to get up as soon as you wake up because I finally just fall into like a dead sleep. Really, yeah. He trains it on your body 24/7 on the like electrocution grounder or something. Really, so like, so now you're having trouble, figuring out the printer, which was working earlier. No, but to print out your Campbell's egg casserole with asparagus and tomatoes or something. Yeah. I mean, as opposed to like, oh, good, my day. And then he's there. I'm going to shout stuff that's offensive. Yeah, I'm very offensive. There's a man that is scanning me on the like. Okay.
The portable espresso machine is a lightweight choice for coffee enthusiasts on the move.
Right. I mean, so now your day is hijacked. It's offensive that all the stuff you have to say and do, but it's offensive because you're basically, oh, you just won't stop doing this to me, really. I mean, there's not really anything else that's like, the scary guy. Nothing. Wait, but it doesn't really vibrate your. We don't need to know that. Well, whatever it's boosting you with, the front vibrates, so you can sleep so that nothing is vibrating, like standing up in front. But I mean, your butt is like kind of pulsing. Literally, it likes to pulse your rear. Apparently, it thinks that's erotic, which it's not, and it's not vibrating. It's just sort of there, really, and things like that. Really. So you can't escape it. You're being sexually assaulted, and then the guy is being as offensive as possible, and your police are doing this. Yeah. Oh, which is really awkward. Oh, and poor me. But
choose from millions of colors via your smartphone, creating the ideal atmosphere for everything from cozy movie nights to vibrant party vibes. Its portability means you can bring the perfect ambiance outdoors for
he's like the pimp or something. Of what? The Casper's, what $700,000 house in McGregor, which you just entered the premises with no warrants or reasons. You called the probation officer. She said no. You needed to verify what the person was reporting. You needed to verify why the house was on fire, that kind of stuff. Afterwards, and then before and afterwards.
If you're tired of juggling multiple timers or dealing with complex setups, this magnetic timer is simple to use with 6 preset countdowns and a custom option at your fingertips. Just flip it for countdown.
Nobody else has the ability, and then whoever else has the ability is going to be whoever else has the ability to do this. They say they stole passwords. It's very bad. You can't get away from it. They basically just like grid your house off your internet and your cell phone. And these guys are very much using. Well, he doesn't want you doing that on the internet. This is to break up the riot. I need the riot up in here. Really? Yeah. How's my Dropbox site look? I mean, if you took away Dirty Ding Dong, and then altered, and then there's going to be dirty, and well, it's real dingy, really. Yeah, it's right. It's like just dingy. You couldn't necessarily tell. I'm not sure. It's an odd situation. I don't know where you could make fun of my 911 call. That's not very nice. A lot of places, actually, I think. But your pants are vibrating. You need tinfoil wear. Really? Yeah. Okay. Let's say on your chart. I think the star alignment that made the 300-pound. This guy's a crack addict that's schizophrenic from very lower income. I don't understand why you're hovering these. Really? Yeah. The same as all the other guys that look like that. I can't imagine what those look like. No, I can't imagine what those look like either. So I don't know what to do, and I'm sorry to be in casual clothes, but I'm gonna call the I think I'll call the state police in Arkansas again right now. I'm gonna go through my, I'm just going through grocery lists and writing down recipes because I have to, I have to do grocery shopping.
which would be a happy, cheerful thing that takes 2 hours, of your day, as far as putting together, instead, instead, so you got away from the John Wayne Gacy electrocution of your shelf, yeah, and then, for an hour and a half at Hobby Lobby, walking around because you left your cell phone at home, but he immediately starts stalking on your car. Yeah, because apparently perps throw away their cell phones too. They said they stole law enforcement passwords and they're using law enforcement password access.
Tired of standing over the stove and stirring? This automatic stirrer takes the hassle out of cooking soups, sauces, and more. It features a self-rotating design with 3 speed options, moving forward and backward for thorough mixing. The removable heat-resistant nylon legs are safe for
Anyone that has broken the law has to get arrested. That's the end of it. I can see how, well, don't break the law, don't do the crime. I'm not breaking the law, and it would be completely sober and then, not offensive. Like I actually just have vitamin E in my hair and with a little bit of coconut oil and bleach because I'm in Florida and would normally be asleep over at the, I'd be looking for a new job. It's kind of awful. I'm fine at work. I'm just going to work at part-time. I'm sure I'm just going to find a nice part-time job somewhere to start out with. So I have some, I just be going about ordinary daily business happily with myself and so on. I immediately jumped on my parents' cell phone account. I'm positive because the font line changed and the body scanning and electrocution. My car didn't only slow down, stalled like once, twice. So, but instead I'm just spending my days like being electrocuted. Okay, so I basically have the ability, and boy, do I do so. I enter the premises and then I have this like ghost rave in your house. Really, yeah, which you're running around waving like, I was actually waving a pizza pan at it. I don't know why. Really, yeah. I'm trying to escape it.
This can improve air quality and potentially reduce allergy symptoms. Feeling tense after a long day? The NeckTech Shiatsu neck and back massager cannot. This massager uses rotating nodes to mimic the knee pressure of a Shiatsu massage, potentially helping to relieve muscle tension and soreness in your neck and back. Tired of having multiple chargers for all your devices? The Ugreen 65-watt charger.
You need to get the sexual assault device. The men that are on it are really, really bad men, and you need to get them out of access. How low class and bad have they been here? No, you're Joe Dirt is Jessica Simpson. Why that's Jessica Simpson. But she's not. She's just what's her face from Beverly Hillbillies. Oh, harmless, nice. Successful clothing line at Bells. It's a fun. Playing it off. This is as fallen as possible. Really, yeah. And then it must be like, I don't know why. Are you employing people from like the jail population statistics? Yeah. These appear to be schizophrenics, drug addicts, prostitution and schizophrenia straight and drug addict straight. These are really, really rough men. I don't understand why they've done this for years is actually correct. Unfortunately, groups of men have in fact used, you're gonna have to recognize certain groups of law enforcement out of certain areas. The fact that Arkansas and then Buddhas is just running around promoting this everywhere.
These airtight stainless steel mixing bowls come with airtight lids so your food can be stored for longer. The set includes various sizes for different cooking and baking needs. The airtight lids keep your ingredients fresh, and the non-slip bottom provides stability while mixing. dough chopper is great for scale as well. You can use it to cut the dough to a perfect size, cut veggies, and even.
Oh, he was thinking about sound like the person
You can
too.
leave it in a dishwasher and
Aw.
store it somewhere without it.
Well, there definitely no such thing as lying. Yeah. So too late.
Oil to fry your favorite snacks. You can use it for cooking mode, air fry,
Ew.
reheat, and de-ice it to cook delicious meals. Plus, it's big enough to cook for the whole family at the same time. Ever wanted a gentle wake-up call that feels natural? This is wake-up.
Well, it's just absolutely hideous. The sunrise alarm clock will,
100%.
your bolster pillow will sexually assault you. 24/7, you get up. Okay, well, I got out to work. Oh, I'm so tired. And I came home, leaving my cell phone in the back room. Yeah. I knew where they were though. Yeah, the Ghost Rape app attached to your cell phone will constantly biometrically like pulse, tens, assault. You got to get the thing. It's absolutely hideous. Really, things you can do from a tablet. Well, I want to convince you it's an actual person. Okay, so some creepy guy in Arkansas. We hooked it up to Philip from Mark's house. And okay, who's Philip? One of them's named Philip. It's one of these guys.
Get ready for the best of it. Act Hill, an experience a night to remember with all your favorite Disney stars. Disney on Ice, Spotlight Magic. Great seats available.
Clean air anywhere. This mini air purifier is designed to efficiently clean up to 223 square feet in just 30 minutes. Perfect for bedrooms, nurseries, or offices. With quiet operation and a sleek design, it removes 99.97% of airborne particles like dust and pollen.
Is it like the it's supposed to be like a guy, the bolster pillow that's like hugging you or something, or it's supposed to like hug you. It sticks things up your rear, okay, and vibrates king size heating pad, vibrating a heating pad. It is so filthy. I don't think anything, and these men are on it. Really, so I'm sitting up in a chair being like electrocuted at the like highest setting by John and Casey. The kidnapping for a year was pretty intense out of psychopathic, after 10 years of cell phone stalking and internet stalking out of the men that created this evidence that was completely allowed, which whatever was coming through on, like the heavy breathing app, it's Hogula skitzing out, talking to himself again. Really, like all throughout. I mean, it's just this absolute lunatic talking to himself and heavy breathing. It's really rough. I'm ugly. I mean, blah, 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 blah. It's a corrections worker. Really, yeah, who did all this in the first place? Where's the corrections workers or something weird?
It just was. Well, I'm sorry to believe that could be hearing voices, right? Because that's us cool guys. Unfortunately, that group of cool guys is really, really, really sketchy, and you need to get them out of there. You need to investigate them and get them out of things.
With manual calibration for accuracy and replaceable AAA batteries, it ensures long-lasting performance. Perfect for campus, water.
Well, like suck your girdle in, right? Well, before,
Featuring built-in
my bolster pillow, my 10 bolster pillow just got changed into like a fat man. Getting up.
you can access
And
and receive
we weren't properly introduced.
It offers enhanced protection.
Meatloaf isn't pulling it off, that's for sure.
Integrated smoothly with visual displays for interactive alerts. Manage up to 60 devices with a smart universal remote that supports IR, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. Customized activities for seamless control of home entertainment centers with voice commands via popular assistants. Backlit buttons and a raise-away feature ensure easy navigation in any light. Includes a powerful hub for reliable signal transmission throughout your living space, enhancing
gotta start with the classiest topic in the world. Absolutely horrible. Poor me. I was completely professional with the Dropbox thing, well, just because it's a serious situation, and it was very serious to get the crime solved. I wasn't being electrocuted.
It's not just a butter item. Use it for cheese slices, veggie sticks, or even cookie dough. This mesmerizing lamp features a greasy printed moon that floats and spins freely in midair, illuminated by soft LED lights in multiple different modes. It's a conversation starter and a calming night. Perfect for room decor, office desk, or a unique gift for any space level. This kitchen sliding tray caddy features rolling wheels that let you effortlessly slide out your coffee maker, stand mixer, air fryer, or blender. No more back strain or countertop scratching. It's perfect for maximizing your kitchen space and keeping those frequently used appliances within easy reach. This quirky piggy bank devours your coins with a hilarious animation.
It's incredibly explicit. And whoever broke in and put a microphone, that's all that's going on. Does that sound, you need to fact check, and also there's no such thing as jurisdiction. If the other person just told you they have some kind of crime, they have evidence of, which a member of law enforcement in the community corrections employee, that's correct on the Westworld thing. Like, groups out of your people have been so offending for so long. You never had anything to do with anything other than, Zeke's Goes, that 70s show, Absolutely Filthy Wild. And it's just put trash from Urban Decay down now. Anywhere, which is in fact correct.
The magnetic catcher prevents spills, and its compact size makes it perfect for parties, camping, or even the home bar. Frustrated by bulky water jugs, this electric pump fits most gallon bottles, attaching easily for mess-free dispensing. Simply attach it to the mouth, flip the switch, and enjoy easy, mess-free dispensing. Tired of chopping gears and struggling to get the job done? This electric food chopper features a simple stack and press design that makes chopping, mincing, and pureeing as effortless as stacking and releasing. The anti-fatigue mat is a convenient invention that makes long hours in the kitchen more bearable. It's got a nice padded feel that makes standing more comfortable, and it's non-slip, so you don't have to worry about any kitchen mishaps. Plus, it's waterproof and easy to clean, which is super handy for those inevitable spills. This bubble pillow is designed for couples who love to snuggle but hate to come on. The unique arm cutout relieves pressure, while the split pillow design lets each person adjust their sleeping position for ultimate comfort. This clever little gadget keeps your bag sparkling clean. Just toss it in your purse, backpack, or tote, and the sticky inner ball rolls around, picking up dirt, dust, and crumbs like a magnet. The bag cleaning ball is reusable. Simply rinse it clean and keep it working is magic. This gaming couch cup holder keeps all your living room essentials within reach. Enjoy spill-proof drinks with the innovative self-balancing cup holders, complete with an anti-spill system and locking mechanism. The gaming couch cup holder features a modular design to customize the layout with the 4 independent sections to fit your needs. Improve your posture and boost comfort with the kneeling chair. This chair promotes
The problem is they just don't have any oversight, like whoever, the police just did not catch them. There has to be some non-offending members of law enforcement. But yeah, this has nothing to do with anything to do with, there's no such thing as I'm also a guy calling himself, I'm Mr. Peepers, and I'm also into wienering ball or something, really, yeah. As representing the South, really, it's a schizophrenic man, heavy breathing from To Catch a Predator, or that has anything to do with anything. Oh, it's simply a sexual perp that has congregated and And that is in fact the case. You need to get the technology these men are on, which is extremely dangerous, into custody now. And you need to get it off the airwaves where it has the ability, just the current crime. You need to get everyone obstructing justice if it's doing the things it just said, which it very well has and probably is, considering.
This handy gadget mixes garlic to your desired texture, almost keeping your hands odor-free. Simply load the chamber, roll.
Oh, that's raining.
Chop garlic in seconds. Think about a buzz and fillings. This battery-operated fabric chamber keeps your clothes looking their best. From
I don't like Merchant Marines. I do not necessarily. I mean, I have no idea. I like Merchant Marines. Okay.
These easy-to-use wireless alarms offer versatile protection.
Sailors. Seaweed.
Keep your loved ones safe and prevent mishaps with magnetic triggering and remote control.
Them. Oh, Glenda the Troll. Oh, I need these men not in my house. Oh, your body is your own business. That's a very, you're always with that. You've always been neighborhood pornography. Well, what's the point of this even? You know, I kept that woman because her father was going to pay the extra $1,500 and then he didn't do so. So I felt that, you have men just breaking the law. It's so badly, they said, in public sector as far as crime, which is just, they're criminals, okay? These are men that do not have any credentials whatsoever. Having a college degree at best in a completely unrelated field is what these men have. It's very minimally related. And they're bringing them into skilled labor jobs because they're forcing themselves upon communities. They're also incredibly criminal and dangerous men. Apparently there are actual criminals of these things. And you brought the criminals of those things in. Okay, there are actual whatchamacallit, there's going to be public sector money criminals. So, like you have welfare fraud, you have state services funding fraud and criminals. You have abuse criminals of it. You have leeches. Like you are not a employee of that. But because, $5 million is going in there or something, or $15 million is going in there, you have infrastructure, and then there's insurance money. So you have grifters of infrastructure that are very dangerous criminals that have no credentials whatsoever to be in there. They've wandered over in here. You do very much have such a thing as a institutional for minors predator. You have pedophiles, and you have domestic abusers, and you have thieves, and you have power abusers and abusers. And it does actually feel that you kind of have a nothing but going on over here. You will have a mess of non-merit system hiring is actually correct, and it's going to be correct in stuff that's criminal and schizophrenic. Again, you have urban decay issues out the wazoo, so that you almost don't really have anything else going on here because you allow broken windows in, which is why this is now just absolute crackhead corruption running around screaming and making up some dynamic about, and then saying jurisdiction, which there's never been such a thing as this legally. There has never been, and there's never gonna be, technically legal, because you just could never get it passed. Really? Yeah. You could never get jurisdiction in the application that these men are speaking it, all of it in any form. You could never get it passed. There's just not such a thing legally in any legal system. I mean, if we were to redefine all legal systems, you could not get all legal systems used in the modern world as far as like proper legal systems. There, I mean, there's absolutely no such thing as legal system, or as jurisdiction where this man says he like now owns the community there. He said, I wanted it shut down day one, but I didn't have the proper password access to Raid Hudas over here, who's determined that he has a right to hang out with Otis Toole and sexually assault children in here, and I can't get higher authority to it. If I'm gonna talk about this rather than, I could call the state police in Arkansas. The man breaking the law, which means entering the premises and then committing the act of physically touching a person's body with a, and you can get, they would get it and show you what it does in court. We've all seen that from Court TV. No, Court TV does not love the criminal. If the guy breaking the law, it's not that subjective. One person says no, and then if for some reason the other person, why do I get to? That applies to law enforcement. No, you can never do all that here. You don't have any mentally handicapped people you've stalked over the years. You've openly as possible. I'm actually positive of this also, that these men have as openly as possible just had a crack hood, I'm sorry not to be, but there's people that do drugs in the hood. They're not necessarily in bad neighborhoods. Okay, to have a complete schizophrenic criminal. I mean, this guy's as bad a criminal, but a complete schizophrenic criminal party in here as much as possible. I mean, and he's just as openly as possible. All of them have, which I've reported every day. Because you can see the progression of events, which you handle that professionally. Reality. I think I was joking. Really. Yeah. Which is, I'm experiencing it. I have got a very unusual and absolutely hideously offending situation. Oh, that's what I said. One of them must be bisexual or something. Stop doing that. The problem is your voice. I can tell you're doing something. Oh. Stop doing that with your Ken doll story, Jesus. Or ow, or something. No. I think it's looking for hemorrhoids. It's a medical app or something weird. Gross.
Keep your environment free from mosquitoes with this electric insect killer. It uses light to attract and eliminate mosquitoes effectively, providing a safer alternative to chemical repellents. Ideal for both indoor and outdoor use.
Oh, it's incredibly explicit. Really? Yeah, whatever's coming from, I said that. Really? Yeah. That was as far as
Anti-fog technology ensures it stays clear and steamy conditions, making it perfect for grooming in the shower. Showcase your favorite memories in a unique way with the gift card rotation.
I couldn't figure out what it was doing. It was stalking me on my cell phone the whole time I was in Florida, and I needed to call the police last time. I'd be sitting here peacefully writing out my timeline, looking at the Dropbox account, and writing out the time. No, it's important because then I can put down, oh, here's exactly what happened this summer of 2013, where I was in the 2 rental properties and back down from North Carolina. And the stalking continued the whole time I was in North Carolina, which I should have been able to call the police on. Okay, so corrections workers followed me home. I'm very much a kidnapping victim in that, and I haven't done anything else since. So I don't really know.
This alarm clock provides a multi-sensory awakening with light, sound, and scent to stimulate dawn and ease you into the day. It's designed for a natural rhythm start to the morning, making it ideal for anyone looking to begin their day refreshed. Ditch the boring bedside clock with this clock that goes straight out of a Steven Spielberg movie. This multifunctional device combines a clock display with color-changing.
I know, and my hair is crazy because I put all of them on.
or adds such a bunch to the room. All automate watering scheduling, ensuring optimal care for your indoor freedom. Enjoy the warmth and ambiance of a fireplace without the mess or fumes with the Flicker fireplace. This electric fireplace utilizes realistic flickering flames and optional heating elements to create a cozy atmosphere in any room. Also, enjoy adjustable flame intensity and heat settings, along with safety features like automatic shut-off. Perfect eggs in a flash with the Dash Rapid Egg Cooker. This countertop appliance allows you to easily boil, poach, or steam your eggs to your desired temperature. The compact design is
I would make like a, okay, so you're having trouble sitting down, the house got cleaner and tighter.
favorite wine with the electric wine bottle opener. This automatic opener removes the cork with minimal effort, eliminating the struggle and potential mess of manual corkscrews. Additionally, it will feature built-in.
I'm having to buy the floor mattress because this isn't gonna improve, really, until they arrest these men.
Say goodbye to
I found a one that got good reviews for $45, and it actually looks decent. And then I'm gonna buy a rug. I'm not sure if I fell asleep with my butt half under the bed or something, or on the floor on the carpet. I wake up and I've got carpet. You can actually sleep on the ground, really. Yeah, I had no idea. I never used to be able to fall asleep at my desk. I slept half the night sitting, leaning over a chair. If you're leaning over, it can't really, it does, it's really pressurized. So I sound like leaning over like this, really. And I managed to, I should be able to make this bread pudding of asparagus and eggs. But I don't have the money for the dumpling maker.
Secure your home with a smart lock that not only enhances security, but adds convenience with features like
That was on Amazon.
unlocking.
And the steamer. No, you can make these, but
High-definition camera for real-time videos, biometric access options such as fingerprint recognition, and seamless integration with home automation systems for voice command. Dive back into the classic with a mini TV game console that comes preloaded with iconic games. It offers HDMI connectivity for high-quality video output.
so he sits around and watches, and you're trying to peacefully. Yeah, I'm going through.
Modern technology appealing to both old-school gamers and new enthusiasts. The tablet middle stand is
Money to make dumplings. Yeah, steamed dumplings.
adapts to your lap or any.
There was a good steamer.
Features adjustable viewing angles to reduce glare and eye strain, making it ideal for binge watching.
Steamer at the there was a good steamer. I can sit on this bench, but yeah, okay, so you got no money for furniture, you need to just be alone in your house recuperating from all this. You should survive, so should anybody else, I don't even know how badly they abuse.
It's designed for whisper quiet operation, making it suitable for use in bedrooms or any space where calm is needed. The Eglin Tornado Light fixture is more than just a source of illumination. It's an interactive decor that can transform the ambiance of a room with its color-changing LEDs and unique swirling.
I don't think we-
Energy efficient and
You're not supposed to, no.
making it a perfect addition to a smart home setup.
I'm tired of having my day hijacked and my things hijacked and my time stolen. Your time.
It's designed to fit a variety of body types and is ideal for anyone looking to improve their sitting experience at work or while gaming. The low-profile ceiling fan is designed with ultra-quiet motor technology to ensure.
See, he's apparently he's narrating this for children also. Oh my goodness.
Energy-efficient LED lighting and comes with a remote control for easy adjustments to speed and light, blending functionality with style. The Hymela.
Would you please get these men off the streets, out of the absolute criminal white trash that are incredibly dangerous and have congregated in the communities? That have basically,
Long, relaxing evening to a bright, energetic gathering.
It's not, there's nothing not to believe. A man is using a cell phone, and the men in my crime do have access to the legal system, even if, and law enforcement, courts and things like that, and jails to use to commit crime. Because even though the perps in my crime are very, very low class and very schizophrenic sounding and acting, but for some reason, and very, very criminal, that these very nasty perps have gained access somehow to the courts and the legal system and law enforcement, even though these men are as low class and as criminally offending as possible. So if you're a schizophrenic, retarded pedophile who's 300 pounds and really dangerous, that's about as low class and as low white trash falling as you can be.
With wireless design input capabilities,
Just
it
is.
enhances your DIY projects by allowing intricate cuts for everything from mobile decor to party invitations, streamlining the creative process with technology, transform group projects.
So you need to get the offenders off the street, pretty much.
Improve air quality and create a calming atmosphere with the Pocori Rain Cloud Humidifier. This unique humidifier features a design that resembles a cloud with raindrops, adding a touch of whimsy to your space. It uses ultrasonic technology to add moisture to the air, potentially relieving congestion and improving comfort, especially during dry seasons or cold weather. The water jet design may be a visually appealing way to indicate the humidification process. Declutter your countertops and eliminate unsightly extension cords with a link to Home Space Saver pop-up outlet. This innovative outlet unit discreetly mounts beneath your cabinets or countertops and features retractable power outlets. Simply press a button and the outlets rise for easy access when needed, then retract when not in use, creating a streamlined and organized workspace. Transform your living room into a home theater experience with the X-Shiny Horizon Ultra Projector. This projector delivers high-resolution images and supports HDR content, creating a stunning and immersive viewing experience. Its portability and short throw distance allow you to project a large screen image even from a short distance, making it versatile for various spaces. Enjoy your coffee or tea at the perfect temperature, always, with the EverSmart Mug 2. This high-tech mug features built-in heating technology and a smartphone app that allows you to set and maintain your desired drinking temperature. No more lukewarm coffee or firm tongue. The Ever Mug keeps your beverage warm for extended periods. Say goodbye to messy fingerprints and wasted paper towels with the Innovia automatic paper towel dispenser. This touchless dispenser uses motion sensors to dispense a single sheet of paper towel hygienically when you wave your hand in front of it. This can help reduce waste and promote better hygiene in your kitchen or bathroom. Relieve muscle tension and improve circulation on the go with the HIX-1 Mini Massage Gun. This compact and portable massage gun utilizes vibrations to target sore muscles and promote recovery. Multiple speed settings and massage heads allow you to customize your massage experience for deep tissue relief or general relaxation. Keep your clothes wrinkle-free and organized while traveling with the folding pack smart hanger. This innovative hanger folds flat for easy packing and unfolds to provide a
Yes, but all that is like gonna follow people around to see if they MST or BATE, whatever it just said. Would you please get these freaks into custody now out of Arkansas?
Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and nationally recognized in 9 specialties: diabetes and endocrinology, gastroenterology and GI surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, pulmonology and lung surgery, urology, cancer care, geriatrics, heart and vascular care, and neurology and neurosurgery. Tampa General, other hospitals practice medicine. We define it.
This is Buick now. Buick, exceptional by design. Current eligible lessees get this ultra-low mileage lease on 2026 Buick and Mr. Preferred for around $199 a month. Engine Mama makes opening keys super easy with simple one and smooth edge cutting. Wherever they can, just press and let Kitchen Mama do the rest.
Kodak Slide and Scan. This user-friendly scanner allows you to easily convert your whole 35mm slides and negatives into digital files. Save your scanned photos on a computer or SD card to share them electronically, print them again, or simply create digital backups of your physical memories. Improve your desk ergonomics and airflow around your computer with this innovative office gadget. This stand elevates your CPU off the desk, creating a more comfortable viewing angle and potentially improving ventilation to prevent overheating. Experience features like adjustable heights or additional storage compartments for organizing your workspace. Ideal for maintaining a neat and efficient work environment. Enjoy refreshing sparkling water at home with minimal waste and customization options with this home beverage gadget. This countertop appliance carbonates plain water using reusable CO2 canisters, allowing you to create sparkling water with or without flavoring. Additionally, it comes with adjustable carbonation levels and a sleek and stylish design. Make your hydration routine more enjoyable and sustainable. Want to bridge the gap between your handwritten notes and the digital world? This gadget seamlessly blends traditional pen and paper with the convenience of digital organization. The redesigned Smart Pen paired with the encoded Smart Notebook captures each stroke and creates a digital copy of your notes. The companion app, compatible with Android and Apple devices.
Apparently it's a 53-year-old man. Wow, really? Yeah. Like you really can't tell what on earth, because all it is, this, you can tell it's been a tool from an absolute shady town. I read the shady town, the drug addicts on Skid Row. But I mean, it's unbelievable.
Control the lamp with your smartphone, voice assistants, or set schedules for automated lighting.
That's
Tired of looking at
unbelievable. Well, it's just unbelievable how bad all of this is. I don't know what to do.
Gallon barrels and apparatus. Made from BPA-free.
No, you can't stalk me anymore.
And stainless steel. It's safe and durable. The upgraded rechargeable battery lasts for
I don't know what to do.
days or 4 to 5 5-gallon bottles on a single charge. Simply
It's absolutely hideous. This man is really, really breaking the law and has to be taken into custody right now. I can't believe there'd be any dissenters as to this.
Organized with this set of 8 reusable bag clips. Made from durable plastic, these clips securely seal bags of all sizes, locking in freshness and preventing staleness. The assorted colors add a touch of fun to your kitchen. Maximize your fridge space and keep your items organized with this versatile shelf divider. It easily attaches to standard fridge shelves with suction cups and features an easy pull handle for convenient access. The BPA-free
That's how offensive. Yeah, I get it. Us repeating what these men say is very, very offensive due to the fact that you are mocking your victims and you need to be taken into custody and out of office. Well, I'm gonna do that. That's very offensive also.
Versatile cleaning for carpets, upholstery, car interiors, and more. It features a large tank capacity for extended cleaning sessions and comes with
There's just nothing that was it. It's really, really bad. Whatever it is. It's just too defined, really. Yeah, no, it's too defined. Yeah. It is too defined in the crotch area. Really. Yeah.
This mini humidifier is a portable and a durable solution.
And then it's fondly, really, yeah, and there's clear definition, sort of like a topography map. Apparently they can. Oh, very, very. They can do all that with that. A tornado couldn't possibly get caught when he gets into the house like that. Would you get these freaks out of everybody's shower? Or whenever they want to be on these men? Oh, this has nothing to do with nothing other than criminals without higher authority or men with criminal tendencies are gone out. Overall, that goes for all the jurisdiction, all the replicating court employees. You're never allowed to do that. You're not allowed to use, really, you're not allowed to use human resources for stuff like that. floater companies, really, yeah, no. Well, that's actually what it is. Are they allowed to do that anywhere else? No. Okay, then there's actually things in place to stop this kind of stuff. It's just not getting applied to the public sector employment of
Thaw grows wheat quickly and safely with this innovative thawing tray. It speeds up thawing time by up to 7 times compared to traditional method, using a conductive material that draws heat from the surrounding air.
So it involves
It
police.
fits all food types and sizes,
Um,
with strong suction cup
I'm not sure.
in place. Tired of soggy pickles? This pickle jar with a strainer keeps your pickles crisp and flavorful. The leak-proof design and airtight lid ensure
It involves
Natural strainer.
criminals. It involves very bad criminal. It involves people not accountable, and they're all day and night. Really, you need to hold all the humans gone by accountable to anything against the law. Otherwise, it's everybody knows that.
Preset chill timers for various drink types and an extra chill setting ensure your beverages are perfectly chilled to your preference. The intuitive touchpad, add ice indicator, and auto-off function make operation a breeze. This versatile chiller can also safely warm baby bottles and prevents carbonated drinks from foaming over.
See this kind of stuff. But yeah,
Luxurious upgrade.
here's the state police.
This device offers a range of
Licensing, security and alarm licensing, voice stress analysis applications, polygraph examiner licensing, private investigator licensing, criminal background check, CHCL safety instructors, concealed handgun licensing. I can see that. We're very sorry that the men the polygraph stuff needs to quit also, man. Really, yeah, he's not allowed, that a man that has committed the acts of crime that these individual men have committed needs to be, there's nothing to test down there, okay? Also, there's no such thing as a polygraph. Would you please do your jobs? Really, yeah, the mouths out of these men. That they would dare to. You need to investigate properly following all criminal justice criteria by the legal system in the United States of America. It is not a venue for every freak party animal to get out and be run loose, which is what your Ziki monsters are. Okay, no more SME from corrections with no credentials whatsoever. It's not a non-skilled labor job. You need to hire anyone with a college degree or something out of your people. You've got all these Zeeks and SMEs. I don't know what kind of party those have. You may have attracted subgroups, very much so, and be harboring other subgroups. As far, there are probably going to be schizoid affective and various other, always. Really, is there anybody in their right mind in any of this? Just in a completely clear right mind? No. And then anybody who might want to be is not able to be. Really, yeah, I'd be going to the gym. They take umbrage to that. The man just doesn't stop doing this. He had a right to monitor the activities of the one woman that he committed all this crime against. You don't know what we do in our stuff in here. This is when a big, fat, dirty, white trash man from the corrections unit is doing what to these people? It's just, I don't need that. Well, maybe we can, you don't need that. We don't need that. Okay, Zeke does not respond in that with Smeezy. Also, you need to get actual employees. I thought, no. You know what is actually functioning in relation to all the functioning things that are supposed to be. Yeah, you understand human speech. You understand, well, see, there's everybody driving down the road. Their cars, their vehicles are all registered, and they're not drunk. Yeah. And they're going about their lives. Well, Tony has got to come up to people and talk to them about that. Talk to them about, we remember that I need Tony Edo not in the community anymore because there goes the neighborhood is correct on that. Really? Yeah. You don't need to give them rhetoric to speak. to rhetoric to do things. Really, there's no such thing as a polygraph test. Maybe nowadays, though, there's no. You need to gather all the evidence, much less the fact that these men are applying this insane. The burden of proof is not on the man openly breaking the law, or with the man openly breaking the law. I mean, the fact that there was no normalcy whatsoever in all of this. Well, he'll do this if he wants to because we think it's worth money for the schizophrenic man over there somewhere. Okay. Yeah, okay. He bet he could get past those because police, yeah, he's a police officer. He's a police officer. His jurisdiction is in there. His police officer stuff is in there. So we're supposed to take away Tony Gangwright, Ghetto, and Edo, and Godwin's stuff in there. But anyway, that's just a check-in. I'll turn it back in and all of that. There's nothing. This is you'd be looking for jobs and going to the gym quietly in your house by yourself. Precisely. You're not supposed to touch people that much in the American legal system. You can touch the facts. Well, what about the OJ? You could be the OJ. You're the OJ. What? But I mean, you would have to be standing next to two axe-murdered bodies. The OJ case was like that. That's another thing. You cannot bring any of these men that do any of this stuff or speak in any of this stuff. Right? Yeah. Because it's too a criminal offending. They said no to you bringing Zeeks in. Zeeks and Smeeze from corrections and said you ran nothing but Zeeks and Smeeze. Zeeks and Smeeze is a completely schizophrenic monstrosity. It has no context in anything. Zeke's Megan, the pedophile and predator. Oh, his personality disorder. That's about it. Yeah. I don't know if O.J. Lizzie Borden the axe murderer. Maybe. No. He should take a lie detector test, but maybe he should. This filth has no place in its filth. No, I know. It's just more Zeeks and Smeeze. Would you please go and check the evidence because you have to? It's the law. Now, instead of me to come up to you, Tony Gangwright, Ghetto, and Edo, and Smee and Zeke are going to go up to the person and sexually abuse them and domestically abuse them, and he's going to give his filthy opinion. Well, he don't like that in his community because we brought Mr. Mendez, the pedophile, into the community. Apparently, you have an incredible problem with this. Also, the thing got out and basically stole all public sector, so that you just have a very, very dangerous crack house in there now. That's got nothing going on that you can't get. You have a complete broken windows almost on this side, technically legally. You weren't supposed to allow any of these men in here. They have no proper credentials. They're thieves. They're in there because they're actually the perp of that. How bad is it here? I don't care. I don't have any corpses. The problem is that they don't. You actually respond in there. There's no such thing as a polygraph test, Inspector. You don't put it up on your website as the professional American police department because really this is why. Yeah. Well, it said you had something. You had some stabby and some serious sweary, but the disembodied voice now that is coming all the time out of the idiot moron broke in that's a schizophrenic man that, I mean, he must have just turned into goo in there. Really? Yeah. How long have they employed these men? Really? How long have they employed these men? How long have the same men been sitting behind the desk? And then how much crime have they been committing on a daily basis as far as like, do they do anything else out of these men in employment also? Well, they don't. I mean, I'm not sure. Please get these freaks out of the community. You need to get their stuff in there into the community. And it's basically saying he has a right to be in every house. he wants to be in Arkansas. And now he might still have passwords. Apparently they're using password enable to get on in different areas. Well, we're gonna sit. I mean, whatever's been neighbor pornography on the other end needs to that they need to they might be afraid to.
Plus, explore over 130 original recipes and videos in the Big Sync app, updated monthly for culinary inspiration. Want to make your home smarter and more entertaining? This Echo Dot is Amazon.
I get it. I need to get these men out of your house and with the ability to break the law this much. Yeah. And with access to break the law, which this jurisdiction stuff is giving all these weird men access. You know also that law enforcement is in fact hired out of a job fair. No, and I don't know how you're getting behind your desk. Okay? The desk jockey is notably, just like as a woman, if I'm walking down the street or something somewhere, or I'm interacting with an individual, and I find I'm just noticing this individual is too rough looking, too shady looking, too different looking. Yeah. You don't want to judge a book by a cover. I mean, maybe, but he moves. The things they say is wrong. That they move predatorily. I'm noticing this man is the man behind the desk. And then he starts doing stuff. Is to I would get away from that man because that man is a criminal tendency person, or that person looks too rough. They'll want you to do something. Yeah. The men behind the desk look too rough. I would not leave anything alone with them, or any women and children alone with them, or men, or wallets, or anything like that. But I notably would not leave. Really, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on, but when you actually turn on the lights, the man behind the desk is very notably too rough looking and looks different. The guy doing all this looks like a person from Meineke that works in corrections. That's the guy from Meineke that got fired from Meineke, went to work in corrections, and you don't make eye contact with him. Or are you talking to corrections workers? You don't need to take that tone ever, ever, ever. The fact that you've taken it as a venue to take this tone, the fact that there are all these disembodied wasp men or something. Why is it wasp men? I'm not sure. Nobody wants anything to do with any of you. Essie actually is correct also. They can't get away from you. None of you would ever have a chance to, poor Gwyneth Paltrow apparently in this, or something that looks like her, that's from wealthy affluent families that they've called and reported, apparently due to the fact Mr. and Mrs. Gwyneth Paltrow, they could eventually get married, really. Okay. The nice person that this woman who's hijacked life because you're forcing interaction 24/7 upon people that are absolutely powerless. There are no boundaries to it. You immediately aim it for the gooch and the lady hole between your thighs, which, do you understand? Nobody has ever said that. That was said in a movie once. It sent the person into convulsions. I'm like, why? I don't know. The guy goes into an episode. It's in a horror movie or something. It's apparently it gives Jason flashbacks or something. I'm not sure. We met his mother. We're not sure. Or King Starter goes into conniptions. That's too shocking for him. It's too shocking for J-Lo. Too shocking for everybody. You're just, they're the hole in the schizophrenic guy's mouth. The booger hole, for heaven's sake. Really? Yeah. I mean, you got to be kidding me. And then how is Lockmere and McGregor? That's correct. Lockmere's country club, stone fortresses over there. It's just big 5-bedroom brick, really nice houses, solid as rocks. They're quite expensive. Okay, so all these very nice upper middle class people who can afford, the doctors and lawyers and such. I appropriately, and people who own business owners, things like that, there's some more, there's, lots of there's reasonable housing near Lockyer and everything, but I mean, it's really for people that are, ordinary people that live in the community and therefore accountable to the people that actually live in the community. Otherwise, you wouldn't live in Cary where you are. Or people that can afford the nice new construction sort of home with their kids and have and wife and things like that. So crime is very unusual and low, and you're absolutely interloping predators, all of you, all of your states, all of your things you bring into the community, and you're not up to par, and you bring quality down, control down very much so on everything else with your nonsense. No, there's no such thing as that. You know why? Because you're not a psychiatrist, you're not a social worker, you're not a counselor. Okay, these are all skilled labor jobs. You have none of these. You're not a child care worker. There's absolutely no reason any of you should be working around minors whatsoever. You have no degrees. In your groups notoriously have zero, zip, and zilch degrees in minor care work. You hire an employee that you are so busy running around screaming and doing your thing over there, which is absolutely bizarre. That you hire like one child care employee, kind of, which is the least qualified child care employee you can find out of the bunch. No, and you very much do get out of there. This has nothing to do with anything other than like urban decay of all that, really, which was a very weird infrastructure. It was weird. There was like whatever Mississippi Burning, for like the MBA program of how the laws and applications of like the civil rights era and stuff back in it's just known as that, really. Yeah, like, I mean, all of this stuff where we're told, like, if somebody uses, like, yesterday, the N-word, and then the other guy's the N-word, and you're an N-word, the guy on the phone is the N-word, and the N-word, and the N-word, and the N-word. And then, of course, African-American people are an N-word, something that's like chiclet in relation to African-American, and then children. If there's children that are also being neighborhood pornography, they could like the sex act also, and that could be the adventures of N-I-N-G-G-L-E-T, but it's a white child. It's just Richie Rich is a little N-I-N-G-G-L-E-T. I mean, just unbelievable. You immediately get, arrested for pedophilia, schizophrenia, stalking. Where is my cell phone? Oh, I'm just trying to figure out how to turn off and then figure out what nerve. I mean, I have limited resources, very. We're not sure. None of I'm sleeping, sitting up, hunched over in a chair to avoid a sexual assault device because my day is hijacked. Otherwise, my day in here is as normal as possible. You're the one disturbing the peace. You're the one in need of technically, legally psych evaluation. You're the one with the dead bodies in the park. I have no dead bodies. No. All these I get to interact and stuff. We don't give a reason to interact. You're a self-fulfilling prophecy and a walking on eggshells because you're interested in interacting and you're extremely low men who are very busy and you're very interested in interacting. And very obviously, the interest isn't good. Oh, people are not stupid. Everybody says that right away. You still just absolutely hijack it with this stuff, which is just extremely low criminal offenders congregating. It's actually correct. And offended.
This is actually a zip opener that leaves no sharp edges on the skin or the lid when you're done with it. Simply place it on the can and move the lever at the top. This will rotate the opener around the lid, and once you've made a complete circle, just take it out and you'll have a perfectly open tin can. It also comes with a hook that you can use to open tins with a full pin. The silicone used for these other bits is extremely heat resistant. It can insulate against temperatures up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, so you don't have to worry about burning your hands. Plus, they come in a wide range of cute colors as well. From grating the cheese in different sizes to even slicing it, this These flexible silicone scrapers are perfect for cleaning pots, pans, and even your non-stick skillets without scratching. You can even attach it to the wall of your sink after you are done with scraping due to its magnetic body. It's efficient and saves you space in the kitchen as well. This multi-blade scissor comes with 5 stainless steel blades that you can use to chop up your herbs in no time. It also comes with a herb
Arkansas State Fusion, Arkansas Criminal History.
This innovative cooking spoon features a
Are you mandated by law to perform this background check? Criminal background checks. There are 2 systems for accessing. I'm sorry to dare to say he questioned that a little. This thing has done that like all throughout on the phone. There's nothing to question. Please interact with the evidence because you have to. Okay, that's how police. Well, we could get them to confess. They want to say that they got you to confess to stuff, which was like teen pregnancy or something, because he read it in a chart, which he always says, and then he says something about the baby was brown, and then he'll go into like some kind of like, this is just what comes out of these men. That's correct. He's saying the same thing. What are you talking about? And that's correct also for police to be interacting. There's a dead body in the park if you're in enough trouble or something like that. You might, are you trying to frame random people? I mean, I don't know what you're doing. You don't, well, they could plead their Miranda warning. It's more of this like Miranda rights. Both of you, they're so stupid. But Annetto just runs around doing anything at once all the time. So that's why Annetto is going to say this here. There are 2 systems for accessing criminal background check information through the Arkansas State Police. Please choose the option that applies to your shirt. If your answer is yes to one of the following questions, are you mandated by law to perform this background check? Find out here. You have the signed consent of the subject you are searching for. Go to criminal background check. $22 per search. Or if you're preferring a personal search inquiry for any other person, go to open criminal history.
This last rinser is a little tedious to connect with the plumbing involved, but once it's done, it saves you a lot of time.
See, they'll have these like reassuring faces, like Joan Shipley is the chief of staff. You're a criminal. Oh, you're technically a human trafficker.
Check out this all-in-one measuring cube, a really cool kitchen tool that replaces
I'm not a criminal.
measuring cup.
Well, it says you could be. So you've had your entire life destroyed by this incredible, and then on top of the insult to injury. Well, Eric Wackaster, and he's a legal counsel, and Karen Perry. Yeah. And it's these like reassuringly first world quality people.
You can even use it to clean up spilled sauces without leaving a trace. If you love eating fries but hate cutting potatoes, have a look at this fly cutter. It's made up of a sturdy stainless steel body and blades. It works on the lever principle where you put the potato inside and just move the lever.
The problem is you left crime. I did it. Yeah, you can't create this evidence is the problem.
Ever wonder how you can get more closet space? You can use this most accurate save.
I think the corruption, well, that's extremely bad. If you have corruption so bad that it's that there's nothing you can do about the corruption. The jurisdiction stuff has got to go in.
Slicer is super easy to clean as well, and you can clean it with your regular brush or a scrub as well. This really looks ordinary at first glance, but it's hiding something that can save us loads of time. If you look closely, there's a triangle cut out of the
Get off of me with that. No, that's what you get for talking back to the,
but you can probably compensate for that.
because gang rape Ghetto the Beast, John Wayne, the animal Ghetto Annetto, the worst rapist in the history of Arkansas history. If he's got, they would get all that because who that says jurisdiction. So the sheriff's department members that are saying jurisdiction in relation to, in their story, they're getting calls.
You can't stalk the Casper family because, well, I wanted to deter. They were sitting down. They get so angry because someone even mentioned what the absolute criminal filth of the lowest crime and infrastructure and legal system that could possibly exist. The incredible evil of the incredible criminals. So they had problems with my other employees. The sewer at Huda, the lowest rapist, robber, gang rapist, predator, pedophile, monster, beast, because he dared to say, lied to take their test. I'm a squat my oozing animal body down, my penis dangling out of my urine, shit and semen, frosted, soaked sewer of a swastika of the lowest man since Hitler and the beast incarnate of filth. Gangrene, the animal, the sin, the beast incarnate, the swastika of the sewer, the lowest an employee could ever be. The gang rape ghetto detective. We said closed cases, open cases, overstuffed, pigsty, dump truck driver, disgusting, oozing Nazi mass of the lowest body and uniform and state and legal system that could ever exist because of the bestial monsters and the incredible crimes, the lowest animals ever born. As far as crime brought into communities. We're very sorry they would disrespect the sewer shit stain of Hitler, the swastika of the lowest men and animals ever to criminally congregate and things. The most dangerous and the deadest country and the deadest legal system and the deadest infrastructure that could possibly exist, with every single predator monstrosity of the lowest and infrastructure could harbor as far as criminals brought into communities without proper oversight. You really bring wife beaters, sex offenders, schizophrenics. There is nothing going on in any of this except for crime and schizophrenia. That is the lowest class man. Because I dared to do that, a little bit of that. I do that, the filthiest man in the world, the lowest beast. You check evidence! So I brought Mr. Mendez, and he's going to hang around here. Yeah, he's going to hang around all day and night. He's going to hang around in the school. Mendez can be in here even. Yeah, the dirtiest. They love a guy like Huda, the most disgusting man, the lowest country and the lowest behind enemy lines and you could possibly experience because of the incredible, motivated criminal nature of the beast incarnate, the swastika of the lowest mankind could ever see, because the incredible predatory nature of that guy in his truck, he had his creepy white van, he's going to speed towards that, and there's other schizophrenic freaks there, and we're going to hire the dirtiest schizophrenic men to ever congregate or ever be brought into communities. To get the sexual assault device off of the lowest a man could ever be. The incredible bestial nature of every single thing done and said by the lowest animal to ever exist. The incredible filth of the most predatory, the poorest quality, the lowest quality, the lowest criminal class of men and offenders. The incredible filth of this monster that says he has, you doing things to upper middle class ladies and children now, outside of, and men and women and everybody else? Well, in reality, when I bring the lowest class man, a criminal so low that the lowest predatory natured animal, and then a congregation of the poorest and lowest quality of men that could ever criminally possibly congregate, the schizophrenic freak show of the lowest. We're very sorry the upper middle class white family was sexually abused so incredibly badly by the incredible lowness of the Arkansas state jurisdiction. But this is actually what we run on. We run on jurisdiction. And because of that, you can never, ever get anything possibly investigated when they bring a sewer Huda, the lowest criminal animal ever born, the sewer criminal thing. You can't have men that come in and destroy your infrastructure to the extent we get plenty of complaints, I'm sure, that you're incredibly low class criminal, no verification employees. Because he dared to say that then. He said a man like Neto could just get those, he could do, but he's never going to do that. He's never going to do it. He's not even allowed to do that. The dirtiest, whitest, but the dirtiest dump truck driver in the world said no there. He felt that when a Neto was brought into a community, it was the best thing for the lowest the community could possibly have brought into it. The lowest men on the Nuremberg trials, animals so low because the most sexually abusive and domestically abusive, criminal, schizophrenic, open, absolute, predatory, schizoid, affective monstrosities and monsters of the lowest, poorest quality animals or beasts could ever engage in due to your jurisdiction filth were brought into offending, were brought into the community and could commit any crime with impunity. That the incredible, you can't allow him to sexually assault her, not Miss Casper, because Miss Casper could have some legal troubles. Here comes Buddha in. He's going to redefine it a little bit. He's like oozing mass of who the hell is that man? The incredible filth of Ted Bundy, the gang rapist. The filthiest rapist to ever rape. Because the Huda, are we spin doctors of sewer Wilbur Huda? But the sewer Wilbur Hudas have always congregated here. Okay, well, the sewer Wilbur Hudas need to do something about the Otis Tolles sexually assaulting me on a body scanner. I'm sorry, I didn't know what that was. You need to shut the hell up, man.
This Dracula garlic crusher goes against the norm, and instead of being afraid of it, it smashes the garlic. While it looks cute on the outside, it is blades on the inside on which you place your garlic cloves. Then, with a twist of it, your garlic is crushed and ready to be used.
This is an absolute venue for this like primitive male. Really, that's technically called primitive male behaviors. It's the equivalent of low, really. Yeah. I mean, you're an ape that nobody wants anything to do with, really. Yeah, and you're using stuff as a venue. That's correct. Your cycles of male domestic violence here, that's not nice, but that's just called schizoid affective, and like, I'm not sure the guy on the docket. That's a schizophrenic man. Right.
Mixing your juices and traces is made easier by this.
Apparently, the criminal nature of the men you bring into communities is so incredibly bad and has absolutely nothing to do with anything other than law enforcement is not enforcing here. And because law enforcement is not enforcing here, you have broken windows. So you just have like a crack house that has crime in it that you can't be the victim of. And that no matter what, it's too corrupt in here. It's too I can't spend the day and the night in the crack house. It's just not, if you had to spend a week in a crack house, I don't even know. But you just can't do that. It's well, like let's say you're a 13-year-old girl. Okay. And so you call the police and your mother calls the police, and then you're not quite sure what the hell it is and what to call it. The sewer of John Wayne Gacy, the lowest men since Nazi Germany, and the lowest criminal infrastructure since Nazi Germany. All because of its widespread use of the sexual assault device, and then all the other sexual abuse, condoned, and domestic violence by the bizarre Stanford prison experiment dynamics of the people with no credentials whatsoever. If you investigated what the perpetration and the corruption levels in the United States of America are. Yeah.
Preventing layers from falling apart. It's adjustable for cutting different size pieces, making it suitable for all your kids' desserts. This cute little toy dog is a hot dog slicer, and it has a water bowl in the front which you can use to fill your condiments as well. Just place your hot dog on it and place the toy dog cutter over the top and press it down. Now you have a sliced up hot dog with your favorite sauce to eat it.
We're very sorry that we felt that we brought in, not who the hell is that man and why is he in what is he doing? Why? Well, okay, here, you may no, well, you're obviously the worst criminal ever, but like the rules of kindergarten apply, okay? You know that sign? Oh. No, the laws of the land apply. Why? Well, just because you're a screaming schizophrenic and it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You're just sort of like in the bean scene where she's throwing beans. Why are you throwing beans at me? And then you're also screaming about your wiener's going up things, child molestation, and then you want to know what the Trivial Pursuit answer is, and I have no idea. I mean, I'm just kind of agog watching the rest of it, listening to the rest of it. Because there's no such thing legally in all anywhere. Well, that's why you're such a weird outlier. Those can't go in there. Oh, that's why whoever's behind the desk doesn't know. Who does behind the desk? We asked. We've called all of them. Oh. Well, I think I'm just going to sit here and complain about it. Really? Whatever John Wayne Gacy's dingling has going on. It's going to be applied to you and your uniform. And Monica's dress. But I just know I'm not above it right now after the day I just described I spent yesterday. I probably should be, and grace under pressure applies, but apparently you're running around like schizophrenic monsters. Your crimes are sexual in nature. Unfortunately, your stupid crack house, there is nothing going on in here whatsoever with that. Why? You would never bring those men in there. There's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. There's actually no reason middle-aged men without the proper credentials would be in here. And then to hire like nothing but middle-aged men without the proper credentials under the great Epstein Jared from Subways, that's a schizoid affective predator that wandered in from downtown state, probably from the Department of Health and Human Services and Corrections, and then it wandered over into the Department of Education, and now we have the great, business starter who is an innovator of some guy of this criminal nonsense network, because this is stuff and nonsense. There's never been anything that's just kind of more stuff and nonsense and all that. But you use it. It's like everything. Oh, that's actually the Department of Education. You don't have one child educator that's congregated. That's a pedophile. Really, that is an absolute ridiculous mess. Also, it's a wonder it doesn't function. It's like a crack house. You just can't function in it. The problem is it's not. It's the overlords. Really, it's the overlords. Great Buddha, our over it lord, and Zeke. No, the guy that looks like the pegler head that looks like the guy from Abu Ghraib. He apparently, like, what actually happened there is it's an alcoholic that's a domestic abuser. Frank from Fried Green Tomatoes, that's a schizoid affective and a big scary predator. Right? He just, apparently this man is physically inclined to say, give me that's mine. Right? Yeah, and the entitlement. Okay, so somebody just needed to punch this in. Yeah. Oh. Well, honestly, they're all interlopers in areas they're in. You can't bring your hood state services that have nothing going on. They got nothing going on. You got like Department of Corrections, mental health for minors. Kind of, but you don't even bother to go get the minor guy. Okay. Unfortunately, the guy is like an alcoholic. But yeah, you can't. Well, it's a business sector. That's why all my men just have college degrees, kind of. No? Okay. Really, you need to clean up. There's actually a very serious problem that is actually really a deficit of crime. Okay. You cannot have these like cruising males. Yeah. It's apt, okay? You're the men that raped America to death. No, well, you just are. All of you. All of that is also. If that checks out and is in fact the case, and that's what's actually in there, then that needs to quit. Oh, that goes for the like, you know, gang rape, Ghetto and Neto did it again. He feels that law enforcement, you did the correct things, did. Who? Gang rape, Ghetto and Neto needs to get and PDOGANG. He's the absolute evil of the crimes here.
The Bluetooth range extends up to 200 feet, and if you lose it beyond that range, the app can still help you find it through a vast network. Plus, it's water resistant and has a replacement that lasts over a year.
The filthy Zeke's the Crypt Keeper is not. Don't be molesting children this badly. Apparently, those dudes too. Those are very serious child molesters. I don't know how that's going. It's sort of like a cohabitation nonsense. Yeah, it's not. That's a doctor's office. Yeah. Okay. That's. He's molesting them technically. Everywhere you have that in something, it's technically molesting. There's nothing going on in it that isn't. No, unfortunately, the Department of Education, where there's nothing going on in that isn't sexual abuse or domestic violence. So therefore, everywhere that all this stuff is, it is in a school. Any of it. There's a very specific groups. No, I'm positive. So bringing those men and those things into communities is always sexual abuse. It's child molestation. Because there's nothing going on as far as bringing that into a community that doesn't involve sexual abuse. Because there's no other reason whatsoever or domestic violence or crime. And I mean, you know, if your parents left you in a crack house, you're probably going to be molested. There's nothing in that isn't, there's nothing there that wasn't a Richard Huckle business. There's nothing there that isn't sexual abuse. So you're bringing nothing but. The country has been dead. Like you cannot have men, the pinwheel arms back. You can't have men that are there's no reason for it. It's like, here is a school and this man, really. This group of men in the school is not working out. Like and they have no reason to be there. If you have these men in a school, this happens. This is always sexual abuse. You now have like the pedophile priest from the X-Files running loose. Well, it's just correct. Also, these men have no reason to be anywhere they are. You almost never meet one that does. And they're everywhere. Really, not one of them. And they're schizoid affective. They're extremely dangerous, predatory, motivated. They're viciously aggressive. So is the rest of this. What do you care if the man that gets that created this evidence here gets arrested? I mean, that is one hell of an attitude towards Tony Edo getting in trouble by the other Tony Edo. I mean, you know, this is a man that has been sexually abusing children for the last 15 years on that thing. And he says he has a right, you know, here's Nevada Knows is on the television, of course. Really, yeah. And then here is well, that's what everybody out there is doing. Yeah. Pretty much wind pole. No, everybody's doing that. A small criminal element is not. Okay.
The 39-inch cable gives you flexibility to reach the
And then you're doing what? Well, how is this functioning next to that? Maybe it's there to discipline because I actually have to interact with all the people out there, and I do hire some. Yeah, you hire some child care employees. Obviously, like, are you hiring some in here so that our law enforcement and corrections is now, and court system is now stuff you, so I do actually hire, I mean, because it looks like that. You need to figure out what's going on in this, with this corruption, because we do not have a country. That is also what makes Nazi Germany. That we are the lowest, actually, since Nazi Germany, as far as bringing predators in and crime into communities. No, there's no argument with it, due to the fact that it is what, but due to the law, the tech use, and how badly it's offended. Really, yeah, is what it'll play out. And then who's on it? Oh, where it connects to corruption, as far as whatchamacallit, how it was able to operate as long as it has, and how badly it's operated. You know, just everything that happened in this case here, as far as
So you get it just right. With Bluetooth, it connects wirelessly to your phone, letting you track progress and get alerts for when the meat is done. It's waterproof and can be cleaned in the dishwasher. Attach this accessory to the back of your phone to give it a phone stand. Its card-sized, pocket-friendly design means you can carry.
that's because we're in a country that people live in, and we wake up every day, go out to business, and live in houses.
Quick setup.
Yeah, and then there's a reasonable amount of functioning, as far as, for some reason, it does not apply to, no, if a crackhead comes up to you and tells you he invented the internet and he's responsible for Palm Beach, that's a crackhead. No, but you have to put up with the crackhead, okay? Crackhead is discipline for children. Also, we ask. Which means absolutely filthy pedophiles and predators own the place and come up to you and molest you. No, there's nothing you can do about it, and they basically undermined it to such an extent that it's more or less just a broken windows crackhouse. Which is what I said.
With just a few simple steps, needle up and push, you can remove corks in seconds, and the transparent shell lets you see the action. Looking for a quick and reliable way.
Teachers, doctors are supposed to be doctors. Well, you could be impersonating a doctor. See, the problem is you brought that a man would actually say that. So a guy doesn't agree. He doesn't agree with anything in human consciousness. Okay? You brought this extremely dangerous predator into a community. So now they're like, that's a wife beater, or that's the guy. I mean, I'm not sure what the statistics are, but like, oh, the guy in passing, he brought Frank from Fried Green Tomatoes to the community, out of absolutely anywhere on that man too, and he's talking for some reason, even, or going up to people and interacting. Does law enforcement do that? Really? Yeah, then why the hell is is some man following this woman into the house, or her 13-year-old into the house, and vibrating her pants and her t-shirts? Because she's sitting on the couch. She is sitting on the couch. Okay. Well, yeah. Because a lady was, a woman was sitting on that couch. I mean, she was sitting on that couch. Okay, well, that's her couch. No. So it was a child. The child was sitting on the couch there. Sorry. No, do you realize? So no, but to say they should take it away from a Huda It. We are in the South, and the Huda It. Who is the Huda It actually? The Huda It is going to be an absolute white trash, effective man from the hood, out of these groups that are absolutely ridiculous. He'll have no context whatsoever with the South, and half his family will be from Michigan. Well, that happens. But I'm part, so he'll be a schizoid effective. Yeah. So it's the guy going by on the bicycle. I think it'd be you, lady, with the Boone's Farm. He's also from the South.
Everyone in a simple way to stay connected with family no matter where you are. This smart display lets you make video calls and send messages easily with just your voice. Its 10-inch screen shows crisp images, and the built-in camera takes detailed photos. The stereo speakers.
Why would it follow children away? Well, they tell me these crazy stories to say, A man would actually even do this stuff in there. If you are making contact and you know it with human skin with the other person, then you are breaking the law. Same as if you,
Well, the fabric is made from tear-resistant waterproof material. It's adjustable handle makes
there is a woman going by in the park. Here's all the people in the park. This woman's pulling a trolley, a little trolley wagon. Okay, if you went up and made contact with the kid, the trolley wagon, she's lazy and she's doing that. That's why apparently all this crap is technically domestic violence. Okay, I did not want you coming up to me. Are we actually going to get anything done today, or are you just going to bounce at me and then sexually assault me also, or one of your filthy friends is? There's too many males. None of them have proper credentials. You went crazy and then said that you need to hire all males then. Well, it's always been a man's world. You're not allowed to do that. So it's still racist. And these jobs belong to the Houdahet. Well, that's how dangerous the Houdahet is. Because yeah, really, I mean, that is some serious audacity. Really? Yeah. And then to override the rest of the human race's opinions on that all these years while lying about it and then doing a weird tap dance about it all the time, everywhere. Really? Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of carrying on. That is a dangerous predator, especially if it's just a rapist in your Boca Raton bedroom. If you're a nice, normal woman with a, yeah, I get it, who is up until the thing, well, just until you're the infrastructure. You can get, drafted to go off and fight Hitler and then get shot like my grandmother's brother did. Well, that's all this should be. So they went justice in a case that said time or jurisdiction. Enough already, okay? Get it off the woman's genital area, wherever her penis would be on a man, only inside the body, which is supposed to make them super horny. Is what he's going to say next out loud on the thing. Because Polio doesn't want his stuff in there. So he can just move into the houses and hang out, watch TV. And he's so weird, he'll hang out with these men. Which I said, and of course that's going to be the case. What is going to be the case? There is no way, no way whatsoever, zero, zip, and zilch way. There is no way whatsoever that you are anywhere anybody else is that doesn't have 3 heads, fangs, and smell really like a handicapped dude. Yeah, because ain't nobody ever said it did all that in front of anybody that wasn't like just well, maybe once one really weird night on those guys, really, yeah, or a little while, and maybe. If there's actually people around, I certainly hope not, but maybe, probably. Yeah.
You can also use it with a handheld sealer for soup buying.
But when it's this whatchamacallit, just no one would possibly ever hang out with Otis Poole. I've said that a million times. Nobody would ever hang out with him. It's just got to be this lady. Only, I guess, I don't know how far along with the baby you're on. Right? I have no idea. No. It's just a man, a cell phone, and whatever rig this guy's got. It's the same group of men too. Following the pretty blonde lady. Well, that means the nettle gets to do something there.
This dimmer switch makes it easy to adjust your lighting with the seasons or when you're away. It works with Alexa,
That can pulse your crotch.
and more smart home devices.
Alexa can pulse your crotch, and if there's men on it, always say no and get up and go get help. If it gets in your house, you are absolutely just screwed. Oh, it is the worst thing since I cannot imagine. Probably because look, here we'll go back to that. Probably, yeah. How bad is the camera? Like
Email
It has 2 layers with a
Okay, they can get on your smart devices. Why? Because it has a camera or something.
differ switch makes it easy
It very well could have had a camera for years. Apparently, the original crime was a two-way mirror in a two-way mirror, which you did not realize was there. So you were just locked in a closet with with a camera and a mirror. Really?
You can also use a remote for easy control.
But see, here, oh, there, he's just like on that practically. Really, yeah. And then, I mean, it's unbelievable. You have no idea how bad this is. It's the most important thing in the world. Yes, like fighting Hitler, to get these people out of communities and these things out of communities. The first order of business is to get these sexual assaults. So men really do this. Yes, oh, very, very much so, and always have. No, absolutely positive. There is a specific group of men that do this and have all throughout my life. As far as, I mean, just as a lifetime, a reference, as a person who lives in, let's say we're in Cercescu's, Romania, really, or something. No, in my entire lifetime, since the 90s, there's men that stalk on satellite cable, and they have had very advanced technology for which they just completely are schizophrenic degenerates on, and turned into like a game PlayStation of crime. And that is really just where like Zeke, the comic book guy, who's an absolute John Wayne Gacy monster, hangs out in his basement with his friends and terrorizes neighborhoods, and just kind of I'm not sure he's got his man cave in there. The more crass term, he pretty much is just he's got a party. He's got a disco ball, shag rug, pretty much just runs his pants on there, watches pornography, has sexual assaults, anything, probably breaks in and steals things, gets away with it. Why wouldn't you? I mean, I'm not sure if you were a criminal. Well, that's a very mean and evil criminal.
Cleaning up is simple with fingerprint resistance.
It's really not. If you're also in a lot of trouble, it's like Bill Sykes, and these guys are googly as hell. I don't know. You're going to do it. You're going to prison.
Stay active while you work or relax. It's a 3-in-1 setup that functions as an extra.
Stealing things for burglary? Really? Yeah. Wedding rings, maybe. Multiple wedding rings.
8 levels to match your
I'm not sure.
and enjoy quiet pedals. An LCD screen tracks your
Well, they're just worth like $5,000.
calories and more.
And everybody's got, a lot of people have them, so you still pile them. I don't know.
Hand-powered food chopper is a game changer. Just toss in your ingredients, pull the cord, and the blades handle.
Why would you want to? Well, that's a crash term. Well, he just, I mean, this guy does not care. He's down there like, I mean, he's rearranging furniture. He's putting in like, he's putting in a water element in a pool. I mean, that's just his stuff in there. And that guy, this guy, there's organized crime guys checking stuff out. They're getting high on drugs, like actually molesting children. I mean, like, no, for sure. It was just a child molester. No, it was briefly a child molester. And then it was otherwise just these incredibly criminal, mentally retarded burglars that would not stop stalking the neighborhood and had access to their house and the neighborhood like completely. And it was just absolutely terrible. They might have tried to like break in. Maybe they're gonna murder you. I think it just went off on its own. They said that somebody actually shot the town maintenance man. Which is pretty late. Yeah, you've heard that story from my parents and nobody cared. Really, yeah. It was a schizophrenic man that had walked 2 miles in through the woods and got shot out back of houses. Because there was a man doing something really weird out back of houses and wandered off into the woods and died because he was trying to score. And they found his body a week later. Wow. Buzzard circling? I assume. How would you find them? Probably buzzards. Only in Jersey. Only in like that goddamn motivated. Like there's people all around you. What are you doing? Refilling my basketball. I'm sorry. And my car tire because it's smart. Amazon. The car tire inflator. Yeah. We do. Well, that's a stalker. Now, you're a stalker. This, okay. Really ridiculous stuff. You're a stalker. No. I'm not a stalker.
This smart plug connects effortlessly to your Wi-Fi, allowing remote control via your smartphone. Compatible with voice assistants, you can easily manage your home devices with commands like turn on the fan, schedule timers and countdowns to automate your routines, saving energy and ensuring safety. Its compact design won't clutter your space, and it comes with reliable customer support. This electric pressure washer delivers 1700 max PS1 and 1.2 GPM for effective cleaning. It includes a soap applicator bottle for enhanced cleaning with soap, and features onboard storage for accessories like nozzles, hose, cord, and all, making it convenient for various cleaning tasks around the home. This smart security camera offers clear 1080p full HD video with hand and tilt control via smartphone. It features real-time motion and sound detection even at night up to 30 feet. You can securely store footage locally on a micro
Two-way audio.
up to 64 GB or in the AWS cloud. Enjoy two-way audio for communication and integrate with Alexa or Google Assistant for voice control and smart home action. Ideal for surveillance, baby, and pet monitoring needs. This smart coffee maker is compatible with voice commands via Alexa, allowing you to start brewing, adjust brew strength, or turn off the coffee maker with ease. It features a front-fill water reservoir and brew basket, making it convenient to add water and coffee ready. The machine syncs wirelessly with the Alexa app to keep accurate time and offers cleaning cycle reminders and auto shut-off for peace of mind. This compact 3-cup food chopper simplifies chopping, mincing, and pureeing with its stack and press design. Just stack the lid and press the chop.
That motivated to move into your house. Really? Yeah. Oh, I mean, so there's a. What are you doing? Putting on my green sweater. Doing something with my Proctor Silex chopper. I assume so are you. No, I'm married, and the woman who isn't is going to call the police. Why don't you ask a woman how to do a movie?
Steaming and more. It connects via Wi-Fi from remote operation.
They did it in white planes.
Offering access to
That's not a bad idea.
smart recipes.
Okay, well, however you're in the house needs to go turn that into the other book.
Ensuring easy operation and quick steaming.
Yeah. Like, well, that's all that needs. Yeah. Well, that's corruption.
Wireless smart meat thermometer, perfect for indoor and outdoor cooking. Offers Bluetooth 5 connectivity with a range exceeding 1,000 feet.
That's a good idea. I will. Sorry, I'm wandering out. I'm gonna to turn this into spirit officers too.
The accompanying app features a guided cook system for precise
The-
cooking
the-
control and custom alert.
That one's doing something. The guy with the googly eyes is doing something weird. Crazy eyes. No, googly eye. He said that one's just got one googly eye. That one's gonna do. Not the one with one googly eye.
Featuring an H13 true HEPA filter and activated carbon filter.
Also, the great guy. Really
Wall is 0.3 mics.
looks a little bit better.
Ultra quiet at 20 dB.
Yes, News Evans said it's really crap.
For fan mode and a gentle night.
What did he just say? Nothing good.
Without disruption.
And he gets to say yes.
This smart electric kettle offers precise temperature control from 104 degrees Fahrenheit to 200.
I actually don't know what it's about. In this room, it's definitely about sex offending. Yeah, it's very schizophrenic and retarded men. I didn't think anybody could be that are very like low class, mid class, low crime class. They're like the people in the county jails. And their rewards are very dangerous.
Perfectly folded shirts in seconds with this folding tool. This handy tool works for t-shirts, pajamas, and more. It folds for space-saving storage and includes a hanging hook for portability. This handy gadget takes the mess out of hanging crap. Simply crack eggs with one hand using the built-in opener. No more struggling with shells. This tool even separates yolks from whites for effortless cooking. This digital tape measure boasts a clear display and a durable build. Switch between feet and meters and use the memory function to recall those hard-to-reach measurements. These heavy-duty clippers
It like follows me around. It's so incredibly hideous. Well, that's why it's extremely illegal. But it'll be interesting to see if it ever gets debunked. Do you usually shout dirty words? No, well, don't shout dirty words back at the Syracuse Dungeon Master and Charles Maine. They've apparently, topped dirty words too. Since you're, fighting invisible bats or something. It's speakerphone, and I'll be very interested to see what it is. It'll turn out to be a guy with a microphone in the light bulb, which I guess I need to find, but they don't actually sell things on Amazon, kind of.
The spill-proof lid keeps your drink contained, and this detachable stirring rod makes cleaning easier.
They don't actually sell a gadget for that.
Streamline your laundry routine with this collapsible basket. Fits in most front-loading machines, letting you easily transfer clothes from washer to dryer. Simply place it inside, spin the drum, and grab everything in one go. Say goodbye to messy sunscreen application. This refillable roller ball design lets you use your favorite sunscreen for easy.
The police don't have one. They're putting sunscreen on shoulder. You don't have like one for the bathroom.
Stretching, acupressure, and back support to target your discomfort.
Or anywhere.
This design comfortably supports your back while providing relief from your back pain.
A bug finder, or if someone buys a camera and puts it in the bathroom, at the swimming pool, anywhere. A camera finder?
Liberty University was already building a new way to learn. While our delivery has evolved, one thing has never changed. Our mission to train champions for Christ. There are the trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 2.9% APR for 72 months plus $1,500 purchase cash on Sierra models.
It'll be interesting to see where the microphone is. You don't have anything to scan the swimming pool bathrooms for cameras, things like that. There's swimming pools everywhere. Well, it says it's just like idiotic. Oh, the mouth out of that thing. It's just going to be like a microphone. The microphone's going to be right above the camera now recording both of them, so you'll be able to hear it just fine. How did we get in here? They have a police locksmith.
Sometimes taking food out of the microwave burns your fingers. If you have the same problem, check out these microwave mats, which are made out of heat-resistant material that allows you to pick up hot bowls without the fear of burning your hands. Plus, they can also act as jar openers and splash guards. Tired of mismatched lids and wasteful plastic wrap? These silicone container lids are reusable and stackable for space-saving storage, reducing waste while keeping your food fresh.
You find it or something.
This looks like
Excited roast beef.
revealing a warm, inviting life. It looks like a real book and adds a warm touch to your room. It boasts various color options and a long-lasting battery. The ceiling fan
I'm kind of still beat up. Really, I started electrocuting me and I started swearing.
but also lighting fixtures, moldings. The unique four-sided clean sleeve effortlessly removes dust from all angles of bandwidth.
You gotta be kidding me. Right. Would you please get the sex offender out of my house? I mean, it's pretty awkward, but
Saving you from overflowing drawers and rummaging for batteries. Mounted on the wall or inside cabinet for easy
think you're
access.
that great.
Reduce waste by
I'm just not like a criminal. Well, that's the story about like all your stuff is nonsense because you have to start at like a specific crime and there's boundaries is how you like interact in relation to the specific crime. Probably when you're under this, why is it about I'm not a schoolgirl? I'm not sure yet. Don't bring a flask with whiskey as a senior that says bachelorette to like, yeah, I don't know. Well, it's like all this like psychotic, like vicious, like I don't think anybody that's actually doing it, I think both of you probably.
It seals different food types perfectly. It's one-touch automatic operation, seals bags in just 10, 20 seconds.
Probably, I mean, like there's other people around. Like if there's a predator around, I mean,
This luxurious massager mimics a professional shiatsu massage with deep beating rollers and air compression.
there might be ways to.
Easy to use touch.
There's lots of other people
Control
around.
your massage experience.
Don't do that. And there's a reason you're not supposed to do that.
Featuring glowing vacuum tubes.
Yeah, I don't know what all that does to you, really.
Functionality, allowing precise monitoring of audio levels for an enhanced listening experience. Customize your lighting like never before with an adjustable lamp that changes settings with a wave of your hand. This lamp is perfect for any workspace or reading area, offering complete control over brightness and hue to match your activity or mood, all while keeping the operation intuitive and engaging. Enhance your device connectivity with a USB-C hub that offers extensive plug-in options from HDMI to SD card. It's essential for expanding the utility of your devices, ensuring you can connect all your peripherals easily and efficiently, ideal for those needing a comprehensive workstation setup. Stay powered up with a portable power bank that supports multiple devices simultaneously. Ideal for long trips or backup power, it ensures your gadgets are always charged and ready to go. Featuring fast charging and a high capacity to handle everything from phones to laptops without a hitch.
The air conditioning stays low in here. I can go outside and
This diffuser utilizes ultrasonic waves to disperse essential oils into a mist.
Well, I just need this man arrested because there's actually a man doing all this to me. No, that's gotta be arrested. If there's a terrible car accident, too, somebody could be using this technology. They do stuff with the rest of the technology.
New L5 Big Lift Volumizing Mousse. 2 times instant volume lift.
What am I supposed to do? Should I call the state police? I'm gonna send it to them. He doesn't want me working on the internet, but so he's electrocuting me, but I don't really, he's doing all the other stuff also. This man can't, who cares what that guy said, it's really something. He has to be arrested right now. The problem is just there's a crazy man stalking me, doing what I said. This man can't stalk me anymore and be in my house and, or anybody else's house. No, you have to arrest that man. Like, it's a stalker. It'll just be interesting to see where the microphone is.
In the century-long history of Walt Disney Studios, the company has slowly amassed a small but infamous group of movies that have terrified audiences, leaving unassuming children and parents with memories of so-called
I think Kate said it. Would you please get my stalker into custody already? Jesus Christ. You can't ignore the guy and he's such a criminal that it's not bad. The fact that the thing has a sexual assault device and is this motivated to be in the house and it's about RIPing people, I'm like, what you know what to do? It has been all throughout I reported an extremely bad stalker that followed me in for this evidence creation. That was very, that man can't do all that. It's not like the meaning's life, you just can't do all that. Like, obviously, it has to be arrested. I don't care whose it is. It's your job, you have to arrest them when they're that bad. There's no such thing as jurisdiction. The first order of business is that the men that are neighborhood pornography need to be arrested now because that is an actual bunch of men that are actually doing all this stuff. And they're stalking me on my cell phone and enabling a microphone so I can hear them talking, and it says stuff like a lot of heavy breathing. It's coming from my cell phone. It's not that. I used to cover my cell phone and then I would cover my laptop. It was always just a really schizophrenic bunch of men heavy breathing. No, for the most part, it's doing. I already. You might have broke it in before and put something in the house. Yeah. Oh. But it didn't have the ability to touch you. Well, you would turn it off. It's like because I'd be are you? Because he's like shouting and hitting you with something. Really, yeah. Electricity. There's been a lot of electricity. There's been lightning strikes. Something was happening. I just think this crazy man not doing this. This man has to be arrested right now. And apparently, or so do anybody else. There's a man that has the ability to do what I'm describing because he's doing it to me. So I'm having to I don't know. I'm calling the police. Yeah, and he says he's doing it to other people, like a lot. So somebody has to arrest him, and he is. Which is very bad. So he's running around getting on cell phones and vibrating people's pants that are children. Yeah. What they're doing is they're online stalking houses, or they're satellite and cell phone stalking houses. or stalking letters or something. Scared the hell out of me. I would say like the scariest things ever, and the dirtiest things ever. Oh, and there must be a camera on this one too, Dave. They're probably all looking at me. Actually, probably. You should know. I should know, but I don't. Somebody else needs to get this. If there is such a thing as a crime of that, no. Well, just what's actually going on. Is such a thing as a crime of that? Whatever is actually going on needs to be investigated. Investigated? Whatever it actually is. Probably. Well, I'll just put that on a list of things. Is there a camera in my smart television? The police are supposed to find it. You just have to go and get wherever the men doing this are. They're on my smart TV sometimes. They're watching my smart TV. Yeah, because I got, no, they are anyway. They're watching my internet account. Watching your Time Warner account. And my cell phone account. Because they comment on stuff I'm watching. And have all throughout, and then they'll sit there and watch it with you. Yesterday, it's like I didn't know I was like more Enya. I was like pictures of pumpkins and stuff. And while I clean the house. Yeah, he's got to criticize stuff there. That's because that thing is the beast. That is John Wayne Gacy. Dude, apparently your characters are so offensive in this, we don't quite know what to do. But yeah, because everybody, he gets in here and he just starts interacting with these people and stalking. And we didn't even know he was in here doing this. Yeah, we didn't know what this was. A person from Carroll County, Arkansas kidnapped someone from Cary, North Carolina, who didn't have a reason to have been held longer than a day. You can figure everything out in a day if there's nothing there. It's a sort of it's a crime. If there's like a microphone, there's probably just a camera on the smart television and there is a two-way microphone. Why do you want to do that to yourself? Is what you said? Well, he said, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know what I said. But yeah, it's nasty and you like stalk all the time and shout into the thing. You just won't stop stalking and I don't know what on earth it is that there's like a really bad crazy man stalking me. You do stuff like you would always say stuff like whatever all this is. It just would. It sounds like the schizophrenic janitor or security guard. Yeah, which you need to watch out for. Apparently, they have an ability somewhere to really be in houses and break the law via something. Whatever it is, it's very ominous. It is now. Ominous? You're just really not allowed to do it. Like one person is doing something. Like if a man got into the house, and nowadays for sure, I cannot imagine that. Well, right now it's a two-way microphone, there's no doubt. Denise Charles is also them. You're not supposed to know that. What there's like, what in the earth? Obviously well, that's the problem I'm having now. There must be like a microphone and a camera in the house. I'm getting stalked really badly. Does that make the to-do list? Yeah. That microphone and camera, I put it in Miss Casper's house. It was all this like schizophrenic gobbledygook. It always is, really. Yeah, it's like, okay. And I just can't get him to stop doing it and stalking. It's real aggressive and whatever. So, yeah. You would tell if they're lying. About what? The capsized boat? They can't go home. And there's a body. No. Well, they never know. It just is the N word. Excuse me, you can't bring in a microphone in my house with this. No, you can get you everywhere. If you ditch your phone, maybe I can sleep in park and I'll be lovely. If you ditch your phone and go. That's what I said. I'm gonna try to get a job there. I don't care. I don't know if I care or not, but if they were hiring, even if they're for some reason. I need a month. You've already taken up a lot of my time. I need a month to recuperate. And after you're completely gone out of my apartment. Yeah, why are we having this conversation? How did you, this year, I could turn off the internet and the tablet and wrap it in Faraday cloth and stick it in an aluminum box and then like unplug the internet and you'd still get in the house somehow. Really quickly. I can still get in your car. There's no way you can escape me. Well, why wouldn't I be able to escape you? That's against the law and you're stalking. Well, see how bad quality these things are? Really, yeah, I guess that there were like really dirty men that came from us like anywhere around that were really class. Came from like underneath the state road, the county jail prisoners, the prisoners with no teeth. You have no idea. Would you please, okay, on how are we breaking it up at the Casper house? These men are not allowed to stalk Miss Casper. She'll go through the emails again. I just got it off the phone. I get to go back to getting Miss Casper's phone. If he says he's allowed to, he's allowed to. No, he's not. So these men are going to jail. You've got to be kidding me on everything these guys do. But it'll just still be a microphone, a two-way microphone. That's the problem with the police. Is there actually a two-way microphone in my house that they broke in? I don't know what the hostility is in relation to the guy that created this evidence.
The Ford Summer Sales event is on, and each
There is a lot of yellow.
transparent pricing. Lease a 2026 Bronco Big Van for just $339 per month, or lease a 2026 Ranger XL.
I guess.
$249. Visit us at Central Ford and Stewart. New smoking honey belts from Firehouse Subs are melty and toasty and loaded with chicken and prime rib.
Get 2K resolution at your front door with Blink Smart Security. 2 new video doorbells will change how you greet visitors and get deliveries. Battery powered or hardwired, there's a new video doorbell for every home. Perfect for renters and homeowners alike. Shop new Blink 2K video doorbells at Amazon.com/Blink.
I'm sure you've been seeing all over your social media feeds all the teachers who are getting back to school and working on classroom. That's because when you are teaching your kids back to school shopping to get the perfect backpack or the perfect lunch bag, teachers are getting their rooms ready to welcome your student back to the perfect classroom.
Teachers are just as excited about your kids coming back to school as you are.
Parents and educators, we really do want the same thing for every child to feel safe, supported, and excited about learning. Learn how to get involved in your public school community.
Would you please who is allowing these men to like use law enforcement access? It's probably correct. You need to get these men into custody already. Well, you have to be arrested for sexual assault. There's no such thing as that. Yes, there is. If it turns out there is, then like, and there very much is, as the guy it's happening to is never, I swear under oath, it's never happened before. Go and get what it is. But yeah. No, it's to catch a predator. There's a guy that wants to talk dirty. Yeah, that's made an inaudible noise device. Which I think is just low frequency noise with like, you said masking over top of him. That he enables microphones and talks on. Yeah. It's not that uninhabitable that I move in with you. Yeah. Oh, this guy moved in on my cell phone. I don't know what. I'm just positive. Oh, I think I know for sure. So. And that's just a fact. So. And it will be elsewhere. Like everywhere. A lot of places, anywhere it is, it'll be wherever it is. And it'll be what I said. It's really creepy. Apparently they're trying not to get, I'm not sure, but it's actually
It's a guy doing what I just said who needs to be arrested right now because you're not allowed to do it. It's- I've had that conversation like every day and night. I mean, like, that's why I'm beyond angry, which means you could threaten them. Okay. Somebody needs to get these men into custody and hold them accountable for like everything done and said. Well, every day of this was like the worst crime ever. And I reported it over and over and over again. They're on my cell phone. No, you can't move in with me. Somehow. Kind of. Oh, and do all the other stuff you did to me. You have no idea how bad it is. Somebody needs to get these men into custody before they kill somebody. That was great also. All of them.
they keep saying it again. It's incredibly bad. You need to get please get this man not stalking me 24/7. Sorry, I don't know how I sound. It's a neighborhood, it's a man neighborhood pornography that's a total monster. I'm gonna get that man into custody right now. Please arrest that criminal.
Zero inventory plus any up-to-date sales insights, so I always know exactly what's selling and what I can do to stock. No more over-ordering or running out of bestsellers. If you're running inventory manually, trust me, Zero will change your business. Try it for yourself and see what I mean.
Love yourself. Love your neck. TL Advanced Tightening Neck Curl. Love the lift. 97% saw visible improvement in firmness. 94% showed visible improvement in Shop now at Throwback.
Please get these men, you have no idea how hideous it is. Get the, it's actually that bad, get the device they're on. I'm gonna turn this off for a little bit. And, put it back up. These men have to be taken into custody and try to figure out what to do. They can't be like allowed to continue to offend. You have no idea. You've got to get like, I'm so incredibly tired of being stalked. It's actually really against the law, and these men have to be taken into custody. It doesn't change. So therefore, until these men are arrested, I'm going to do stuff around here, and I'll put this back up. I'm gonna try to figure out who to call and send it to so these men actually get arrested on the Arkansas State Police page. And then I can see what happens when I call the Arkansas State Police. And as soon as possible, these guys gotta go in.